Well, what a game last night. Wow. I know you didn't see the whole game, Andrew, and in fact,
I saw the score continue to go up and up.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Maybe the most perfect game Josh Allen has ever played in.
And it's, again, you have to play the teams on the schedule. Jacksonville was expected to be one of the better teams, and they were struggling, but they just handled them. Defensively as well. Wow.
It was quite impressive. As the Buffalo Bills won by, 37 points?
37 points, yeah.
And I got to tell you, I think we've been all along feeling like you're not sure just how good Buffalo is or could be. And I've been somewhat, I thought they haven't played for almost 2 weeks, and they may come out flat, and that didn't happen. And, oh, wow.
It is pleasantly surprised. And I think, I was talking to Davey, I think, off the air about this one. There's no drama in the locker room. I think everything's copacetic. I think the move to get rid of Stephon Diggs was the best move.
Yeah. I feel like he was more of a problem for Josh Allen. Now Josh Allen can be the leader on that team, and certainly has been.
With he can do so unapologetically.
Not worry about who he's passing the ball to. If you get it, you get it. If you don't,
prove yourself.
Yeah,
like every other. Most of the other teams.
Whereas before, the problem came in that if Stephon Diggs did not get the ball, he was whining and yelling and barking into the face of Josh Allen and the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't see any of that. So that's good. All right, we have some. How about Gillibrand saying that the state has not asked for FEMA funding?
Yeah, and Hochul says, I put that application in back in July. So,
and she's claiming that the damage may not meet the threshold of FEMA. I don't know. In Rome, I don't know how it wouldn't.
I don't know what that formula is. I think Tony discussed it with us when we were at Joe Time at Espresso's. But I can't imagine that the damage wasn't enough to. Considering people's homes had their roofs ripped off, and they had to demo a church, or essentially they will have to demo a church. Yeah. It's a head scratcher. So we'll try to get some answers on that from somebody locally here this morning. But that was definitely, as Davey said, a bombshell dropped on what was supposed to be a press conference regarding, protecting veterans from or addressing the issue of traumatic brain injury for active duty members of the military and veterans. Turned out to be a bombshell
on FEMA.
Forgive the pun.
Funding.
On FEMA funding.
Yeah. Speaking of Davey, can you put this up onto the camera? Davey is apparently
he'll be back. By the way,
he is now.
Just grabbing me coffee.
Let's get it in there now before. You have to pull it back a little bit. You have to look over the far camera there.
I can't see. Hold on.
You can't see. Stop right there. Stop. Keep going. Stop. There's Davey in a direct mail piece from Senator Joe Griffo. I believe that's like on the free drop-off, which is coming up. There's another one, electronics.
There he is. Davey, come in here.
Oh, you are. How much did you get paid to model?
Yeah, I was going to say, what did they have to pay you to get there?
You may have received this in your mail. It's a direct mail piece featuring Senator Griffo promoting the October 26th drop-off of recyclables. And there he is, the man with the plan, Davey.
I didn't know anything about it until I got a text yesterday afternoon, says from a close friend of mine, his wife says, "We knew you were famous, but now you're more famous."
Yeah.
So I came running out and I said, "What do you mean?" Then she sent me that.
You're in everybody's mailbox.
Yeah.
I think, too, in the fine print it says at this upcoming one that's going to be happening October 26th. Davey
How is it that you were already there?
there?
How were you already there?
That was from the one that they did in the spring.
Oh.
No, it just says Davey may be here for the next one.
Oh, okay.
Promoting that. Yeah.
Okay.
Signing autographs. And
taking
pictures.
Taking people's computers, old computers, shredded paper.
Look at Joe, though. I mean, with the vest, he's hard at
Yeah,
work.
he's out knocking it out of the park right there. Yeah.
I thought when they were taking that, when Alex was taking
famous.
that,
He's famous.
I thought they were putting it on Facebook because Joe has his Facebook page.
Right. So you didn't give permission.
Ooh.
No,
Ooh.
I don't mind.
I'd be asking for dough.
Yeah. Or at
I
least
mean,
some
the
sort of
going rate is
compensation.
what?
I mean,
The going rate is
$8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you
For
let that go?
For modeling on a mailer? Yeah.
Think of the number of things you could do with $8,000.
How about them Buffalo Bills last
How
night?
about
Don't
them
change
bills?
the subject. What would you do with $8,000?
What would I do with $8,000?
Remember, they're all $1 bills. 8,000 $1 bills. You do something good with it.
I would probably go to find the nearest Comic-Con and go meet a couple people because you guys both know that I love
You do love
to
that.
collect
Yeah,
autographs.
You do
and
love that.
My
That's
newest
what
thing
I
is
do.
Funko Pops.
That's what I would do. Who?
My newest thing is Funko Pops.
What the hell is that? I don't even know what that is, Davey.
They're like miniature figurines.
Oh, okay.
Figurines.
Didn't you chase down? Sorry. Didn't you chase down one somewhere?
Yes.
Recently?
I went to
All right.
Albany to get it.
Well, listen, congratulations on your newfound stardom. I thought you already had it right here, but then you add to it
Well,
direct mail.
Thank you.
All right, nice job.
now you can ask your question about the Bills if you want.
All right, what did you think about what was my question? What did you think about the Bills?
Dominant. I love how
you-
Joe Brady distributes the ball. He throws it like Josh Allen throws it to different receivers. They have a running game with James Cook now.
Yeah.
The defense is coming abound with Bobby Bashley as their defensive coordinator. Sean
Yeah.
McDermott looks good. They look
it
real
all
good.
looked really good.
only thing-
And yeah, the only thing.
The only thing I'm worried about is this coming up Sunday when they face the Baltimore Ravens, when Derrick Henry ran 247 yards on the Dallas Cowboys defense. But maybe the Buffalo Bills
Wow.
defense is different than the Dallas Cowboys
Let's think
defense.
about that Dallas Cowboys defense and the yards and games they've given up. I mean,
I want to give you Richard's prediction. Do you want to hear it?
oh, here we go.
Enjoy it all you want. Enjoy it now. Buffalo 3-0. You will be 3-3 after the next three. Baltimore, at Houston, at the New York Jets. You will lose all three. Yeah. Well, you can laugh. You can laugh, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh,
You notice
Richard.
on the news highlights of the lacrosse games that fans in attendance. I heard there were some good crowds in attendance. In fact, Davey will be in attendance. I believe today you're going to be there at the Nexus in the Odd.
No, I'm going tomorrow.
I believe it's tomorrow. Davey's going to be there.
Oh, nice. Right after his Joe Griffo appearance there.
Yes, yeah. And people when you walk in, people are going to be like, "I've seen you somewhere. Where have I seen? I've seen you somewhere." Yeah, okay. They're going to
You were
stop
in
you
the
in the grocery
mailbox.
store.
You were
Yeah.
in my mailbox.
I saw you in my mailbox. Was it claustrophobic in there? Stuff like that. These questions, people, inquiring minds just want to know. All right, a couple of things. A veteran Democratic strategist is convinced about one thing, and that's going to happen. Two things that are going to happen for Election Day. Longtime strategist James Carville, who talks so Southern and so fast and so slurry, it's hard to understand what he's saying.
Mouth from the South.
The mouth from the South on Monday said the 2024 election just doesn't feel like a race. The Democratic nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, is going to lose, he says.
Wow, for him to say that.
If there's 7 swing states, the most likely scenario, he says, it breaks 4-3. Every recent race for the White House, perhaps including Barack Obama's first victory in 2008, had appeared to be on a knife edge until the voting day itself, said Carville. I could be wrong, but it's going to break in one direction or the other. I really believe that most of the time these elections do that and don't. And I don't like to predict elections, he says. I would just have you say it just doesn't feel like a race, that Harris is going to lose, but that's just a feeling. It's a feeling that I have. He also said, I believe another plot twist will happen before Election Day. Dum, dum, dum.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. I'd play his audio, but he just annoys me.
Well, it would be quick. You know, he's talking.
It's quick. He's fast. You're right. It would be quick. However, on the other side, the historian who predicted several elections before says an avalanche was set off when he gave his pick. This is the guy who's Alan Lichtman. I think we had him on the air back in 2016 when he predicted that Donald Trump would win. The 77-year-old distinguished professor of history at American University lives in Maryland. Lichtman has correctly predicted the outcome of almost every election for decades except for the race in 2000. He thought Trump was going to win. He uses a set of 13 keys to make his picks, which range from economic indicators to candidates' charisma. Trump says, I believe you're 100% correct. I did win in 2020. That's what Trump says. However, he says that he was wrong in 2020. Lichtman earlier this month predicted Harris would defeat Trump, sending shockwaves among political observers and picking up wall-to-wall news coverage. He told USA Today he's received a larger response about his 2024 prediction than ever before, maybe because of how high stakes this election is, how extraordinary it is, the sitting president stepping down right before the convention, the challenging candidate convicted of 34 felonies, and a former president. This, he says, has been an avalanche.
Yeah, well, it's been interesting to say the least.
Do you, after hearing that, do you believe either one of them at this point?
No, I if anybody says they can predict who it will be with a certainty, I think they're lying to you.
I think you're right. I don't know how you could predict such a thing, as crazy as the world is today. We have a bunch of comments as we got into yesterday, the restaurant nightmares. And the call we received, I struggled with for the whole day.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had dinner plans. And the spitting in the sauce.
It just freaked you out.
Just freaked me out. I mean, he witnessed it. He witnessed it.
Yeah. So Jake, was it Jake in Utica?
Jake.
I'm not going to say where, but
he also said a steak would fall on the floor. They'd pick it right back up, wouldn't even brush it off, throw it right back on the grill.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
And now we have a bunch of comments. We'll get into that coming up in a little bit.
Well, it turned into all sorts of
everybody has a story.
Restaurant stories.
Everybody has a story. Like the one who said he had a situation where he didn't like the way the cook prepared the steak, so he sent it back, and then the chef came out, who also was the restaurant owner. I've seen this actually happen at a restaurant. I've seen it.
Boy.
The restaurant owner came out, who's also the chef, and said, there's nothing wrong with this steak. You just don't know how to eat it.
You don't know how to eat it.
Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome.
Let's see. What else do I want to throw at you here this morning? Because there's a lot of stuff. Do we have a sheet, or are we just going to go on it today?
Davey's grabbing it right
Thank
now.
you. Did you see that? And I wanted to get these guys on to see how they've done it, how they've confirmed it. Please, we still have time to get Kraft on about their giant cheesecake.
Oh, well, I have reached out, and I've been in communication with somebody at Guinness, so
okay.
It's like pulling teeth.
But are we going to be able to just do this thing without having to pay a lot of money? They're getting massive coverage, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what that cost would be. I'm trying to figure it
all out. An Upstate New York festival over the weekend, this past weekend, is now home officially to the world's largest cheesecake.
Oh, yeah.
You know that Utica is home still since 1993, is still home to the world's largest jelly donut, which we created back with Hemstraat's and Donato's Bakery, which is no longer with us. It's fantastic, Kraft Heinz Lowville interim plant manager Christina Palmerville said. The fact that it's over 15,000 pounds of cheesecake is spectacular. They didn't beat the record. They crushed the record. I believe the record previously was held from 2017.
Company in Russia.
At about 9,300 pounds.
Yeah, in Russia.
Russians aren't known for making cheesecake.
No, I mean, they've had to ration everything with everything going on. I don't know they'll be able to even get that much cheesecake.
Although we were once at the Russian tea house in New York City, and I had a pretty mean cheesecake. You needed to get into the cheesecake and indulge when you knew the bill was coming.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, let it hit you.
Speaking of New York City, I saw a 3-hour time-lapse video that was of the east side of New York City
Yeah.
And it just kind of looked like everything was sitting still, moving normal speed because nothing was moving. Traffic was so jammed.
This was from yesterday?
Yeah. Traffic was jammed up.
It'd be like that today.
Anyway, in the craft plant, of course, is in Lowville, where there, I believe, cream cheese, actually Philadelphia, New York, is where cream cheese was invented.
Yes.
That's incredible. What a wonder that cream cheese would be. A brick of cream cheese would be something. If that were to fall on the floor, you're done. You're not going to pick it up and use the 3-second rule or anything like that.
You could probably cut off the layer that hit the small layer that hit the ground.
I guess you could, unless it did like a dent, dented in,
right,
or it rolled.
If it rolled, stopped, dropped, and rolled, it would be a problem.
But listen. The other day I was making sauce with using fresh tomatoes, and one of the tomatoes fell on the floor, and I picked it up, I put it under the sink, rinsed it off again. I mean, think about it. It was sitting out in the dirt.
Yeah, and you're going to cook it.
Now, if that tomato had been cut and the wet side of the tomato landed, you'd have to really make
you'd have to rinse
decision.
It good.
Yeah, you'd have to do some
I think
rinsing.
that if you were going to heat it up and make it into sauce, it would be killing anything that would harm you.
I guess. But when your sauce starts becoming crunchy, you realize, ooh, not good.
Gives a little texture.
Yes. Did you see this is pretty scary because we went for a good part of the summer. I don't know what happened with no mosquitoes. We were doing so well here. And then in the last couple of weeks, it's been a huge increase.
Brutal.
Like all of a sudden they decided to hatch.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. Even in the daytime, if you walk into the shade, you got mosquitoes coming out on you. Anyway, an Ulster County resident has died of triple E virus. It's the first death in New York State of the mosquito-borne disease since the year 2015.
Wow.
An elderly man
people.
from the Syracuse area diagnosed with triple E died in September of 2015. And this week was another death. It's the first since then, and it happened because of the triple E virus. He was bitten by a mosquito, and now he's dead.
That's awful.
It is terrible. It is terrible. You got
to protect yourself and your horses.
I've been watching and I'm not trying to be critical of anyone's commercials at all. There are going to be a lot of commercials we're going to see on TV. But have you seen the latest Brandon Williams commercial?
I have not, no.
It starts out, I believe, with his wife saying, really defending him as you would expect her to do. And then he comes walking into the kitchen, and instead of an embrace, it's just awkward. It's weird. Mm-hmm. Instead of an embrace, they do the fist bump like we did during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see that at the end of
that is very
spot?
Weird.
I would have, if I were producing that commercial, I would have said, all right, that's kind of cool, but let's try an alternate ending.
Hug, yeah.
Yeah, let's do a little arm around her. Give her a big smacker.
Well, there's the one where the kids are attacking him with a pool noodle, too.
I did see that, too.
Yeah.
Yes, and his response to that is kind of unique. It's the way he puts his arms out and defends himself. Listen, you're on a nuclear sub. You don't need to be agile. You don't need to be. I mean, you just have to be able to push the button.
You hit a button and you're fine.
You hit a button,
you're fine.
You are A-OK. And that battle between him and Mannion, we're going to see more and more.
Heat up, yeah.
More and more commercials.
Yep.
It's going to drive you nuts. I'm just telling you. I get the feeling. New York State Police are warning of a new scam. This one is salacious. It's a sextortion scam.
Yeah, these you got to be careful.
New York State Police warned the public of a nationwide automated sextortion scam in which scammers use people's email address to coerce payments using intimidation and threats of embarrassment. Like, what example would there be?
So if, maybe, hey, I've got pictures of you doing X, Y, Z. And if you don't pay me money, I'm going to send it to everybody that you know, like your mother and your sister.
According to media releases, scammers obtain emails and other personal information purchased illegally on the dark web to contact victims, stating that they have the victim's personal information and often will include a photo of the victim's residence. That's going. Which, by the way, is completely available online.
There is a story on our website. If you search it, how you can actually blur your home from any Google Map or Street View.
Instructions they will also include on how to make payment in Bitcoin to avoid repercussions. The scammers will also threaten to publicly embarrass and convince the victim that they have installed software on their phone or their tablet or computer and have naked photos of them. To get the victim to act quickly, the scammer claims they possess images of the victim viewing pornographic material and threatens to disclose the content to everyone in their contact list within 24 to 48 hours. Now, if you have not watched any pornographic material,
or have never taken pictures of yourself naked, I don't understand how they would have it.
Then they wouldn't have it.
Yeah, right.
However, if it's your phone, you take your phone with you. Your phone is in the room while you undress.
Well, that's true, too. Your laptop, how they always say that you got to cover the camera on your laptop, like you have right there.
We do not have a lot of mirrors in our house. So when I get dressed in the morning, I'm totally using my iPhone to see what I, check on. Look at how good my hair looks today. That's because I was able to zoom in and get everything done. And then I got thinking to myself, I'm completely exposing myself potentially to the dark web. What if somebody out there is taking a picture of me?
Yeah, well, I could tell you right now,
terrible.
That'll be the last thing anybody ever
We
did.
bought
It'd be traumatic
4
for them.
mirrors yesterday after this story came out. So we're loaded up with mirrors. I don't have to do this anymore. But the reality is your phone is with you everywhere you go.
It is. In the shower. Some people bring it in the shower.
They do?
Yeah. If you want to be watching TikTok in the shower. Or...
Okay. It's a bit weird, but I'm sure some people do it. Big day on Capitol Hill with CrowdStrike, Brett Favre, and Johnny Cash. What does this all mean? On the line right now is big Baltimore fan. And by the way, coming up, Baltimore will be playing the Buffalo Bills, and Baltimore and the Yankees. Some rivalry going on here. Ryan Schmelz, good morning. Do I have him here? I got him now. Hi, Ryan. Good morning. I got you now.
Hey, there we go. Are we good now?
Too many buttons to push around here.
Too many buttons. Not enough
Ring
fingers.
Of fire. You got me with it.
Good. The ring of fire.
Hey, how you go? How you doing like that?
So what is going on here with this CrowdStrike situation?
Right. So this was a situation where a couple months ago you saw a cybersecurity company known as CrowdStrike perform a software update, and that software update had a failure, and it pretty much led to a technology failure across the globe. There were planes that were grounded because of it. There were banks that had to close, small businesses and hospitals that lost their technology for a day or for a time being. And it was a major concern for a lot of people.
This was about like a month ago or so, right?
Yes, I believe earlier this summer. I think maybe like more like July.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So Congress almost immediately asked for a hearing out of this, and now they're going to be trying to hear what the CrowdStrike CEOs, or not CEO, their SVP, what changes the company has made in the wake of that, and see if those changes are work for the members.
Yeah. And then Brett Favre with welfare reform or welfare in general, stealing welfare funds. What do we know about this one?
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with this case, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'm pretty familiar with the case, which is that Brett Favre is accused of, in many ways utilizing the state welfare system to pocket it for himself. That's the allegation. So, lawmakers are going to be looking into this issue specifically. Government waste is a big, important issue for a lot of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. And Brett Favre has a lot of answers, and a lot of questions that are going to be coming his way about this, especially when he's been, very vocal on the political scene as of late, too. So, I think this is going to be a fascinating circumstance, especially when you look at the welfare system in Mississippi, that's one of the poorest states in the country. So that's a huge concern to a lot of people. Yeah. And he's somebody who's considered a legend in that area.
I do think that sometimes what happens in Congress, especially in the House, is they go around. It's like each member gets to, it takes a little while to get through everybody. But it's like, all right, who do you want? Which celebrity do you want to meet? I'd like to meet Brett Favre. There's this welfare thing going on. Let's get him in. All right. At the end, they're all asking for autographs out in the hallway.
Taking pictures.
Yeah. I need a picture with you.
Well, they brought Randy Travis here a couple weeks ago to talk about, name, image, and likeness, and people, stealing your identity for, certain situations like that and using them, online. And, obviously, Randy Travis is a huge deal. He's a country music legend. And, there were members who weren't even involved in hearing who went there. But, and I'm not going to bash this moment because I thought it was very powerful. But, a member of Congress actually brought him a wooden cross, I believe it was, or some type of medal that he carries with him, and said it's my token of appreciation for what you've done. And this member of Congress is actually a general himself, so it was kind of cool to see that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's impressive.
That's pretty cool. And then how does Johnny Cash tie into all of this?
So this is awesome. So every state has 2 statues that they can put in the halls of Congress.
Okay.
The state of Arkansas decided to make some changes to the 2 statues that they had. So they have replaced them this year. First one was Daisy Bates, a civil rights icon. I believe she was a mentor to the Little Rock Nine. And then you also have Johnny Cash being the second one that they're going to be replacing this year. So this is going to be a huge moment of bipartisanship for everybody. And for me, it's pretty big because I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan. And I will always remember being a kid and watching Walk the Line for the first time. And when Joaquin Phoenix took that glass of water and slammed it on the ground inside Folsom Prison and then sang Cocaine Blues after that, sold.
All right, Ryan, you just made me feel so old. It's just terrible. It's like I'm like, all right, he's his icon, Johnny Cash, and then he tells me he saw it in a movie.
When
for God's
somebody
sakes.
played him in a movie, it made me.
I was watching Johnny Cash during his special in the '60s.
I don't think. I don't think the concert he did in the prison was filmed though. So it was kind of just like, that was the only time we ever got to see it was when it was reenacted through Hollywood. And I wasn't a country music fan at the time, and that was kind of the moment that changed for me. I was like, this country thing doesn't sound too bad now, does it?
Well, I believe it was. There is definitely film of that actual moment, and then they made an album out of that, and they made it. Ring of Fire, I think, comes from a live show.
Oh yeah.
But then Johnny Cash, they had the Johnny Cash and Family type variety show that was on in the early '70s. Now, I must admit. I was young, but was far older than you. I mean, I was bringing my kids to see Joaquin Phoenix, and I walked the line. So maybe I didn't do that, but still, you make me feel old. Nonetheless,
my bad.
I relate. I am a huge Johnny Cash fan as well, and do you know that I actually got to see him once in concert?
That's
he
awesome.
came here, right?
He came here. Yeah, it was a spectacular show, and. You know what he said? Ryan?
Hit me.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he did say it.
He's never said that before, right?
He did say
Yeah,
it.
no, never. That was the first time.
I think he was famous for saying it here. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, get out while you can. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you have a great day. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio.
I just didn't have
when
the
I
heart.
think he's going down the road and he's talking about, when I was a kid, my grandparents used to listen to Johnny Cash. That was me.
Yeah.
And then he's telling me the movie I walked on, which seems like that movie was just yesterday.
I know it does. I think too. I didn't want to break his chops too bad about the Orioles and tonight because it could come back and backfire.
It very well could.
Want that.
How about the Mets are 6 games behind the Braves? They are 2 games
ahead of the Braves.
6 games. I'm sorry, 6 games behind the Phillies, and 2 games ahead of the Braves in the wild card race. With 3 games to play, there are still predictors out there saying the Mets will not make the playoffs.
I find that hard to
believe. It is possible.
So are there 6 games left or 3?
6 games left.
Yeah.
They play Milwaukee this weekend. So could you imagine the Mets going on a skid, the Braves taking 3 from the Mets? Now they're a game ahead. Now the Mets are struggling for that final position, and it's all over.
Davey, we have the Orioles at home and then Pittsburgh at home, or do we go to Pittsburgh to end the season?
No, all the games are here in New York, and John Sterling's going to be calling the rest of the games from here on out.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
Well, I am here to say I think the Mets will make the playoffs.
I think they will too.
Pretty excited, and I predict
I've
they are
heard
going
other
to
people.
they're going to own the Braves this week, starting tonight.
I've heard a couple commentators on radio programs yesterday thinking that the Mets were going to do pretty well in the postseason. So.
Well, it was the year, I was going to use this as a question, but it was the year 2000. The Mets got in the wild card, back when there were, wild card wasn't like it is today.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
all
were
you got to
lucky
do
to
is
get
have a heartbeat to get into the playoffs today, it seems. Anyway, remember what happened in 2000? The Mets went all the way and then ultimately lost to, in the World Series, the Yankees.
Yes, that's right.
That was 2000. Wouldn't it be amazing if we saw another Subway Series?
That'd be pretty cool.
It is certainly probably not likely, but absolutely possible. Still going on this week and all week long. It'll come to a gigantic conclusion on Sunday, is the Box Lacrosse World Championships. It is bringing people in from 28 different countries, 27 and the United States, all from around the world. It is pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, very.
Coming up, we'll speak with Tom Hyland. Customers of Utica Mac, explain what's going on here.
So essentially, Tom had been on the program, I don't know about last year or it was recently. I don't know if it was the beginning of this year or the end of last year. Kind of waving the red flag about the concerns he had in regards to the new law that would be going into effect that would make all of the trucks for tractor trailers, it would be forced to be electric. And what that's going to do to his business, but not only his business, but to local municipalities in the area and beyond, is just going to be devastating.
Don't know how they can continue.
And it's supposed to happen January 1 of next year.
I don't know how they can continue with this mandate. It's just, it is impossible because we don't have the right now the technology or the infrastructure for it.
Right. So Tom is going to come on because, I said to him, get the word out. Hopefully we can at least start some conversation. And then hopefully we'll hear from Griffo a little bit later in the week. I know he's on the case, but I think it needs to be repeated and repeated and repeated.
Coming on the phone this morning, we'll speak to him by phone. He was on this season's The Voice.
Yep.
And that's the one where they hit the button and they get the chair turn.
Exactly.
And there were all four of the judges.
Almost instantly.
Went right after him. So
I'll have to send you the clip.
So Franio Vasquez, I'll get it. So Franio Vasquez, the third, has quite we're going to play some audio for you coming up, has quite an amazing talent, and was enough for all four of the judges to almost instantly turn around and check this kid out.
Yeah,
He's from Utica.
He was very impressive. I'm going to send you the link.
We saw yesterday video of the bulls escaping from the rodeo in Massachusetts in North Attleboro. They charged through a fence and ran through a parking lot. Here's the moment they escaped, caught on phone and video, and people in the community were all about this, going over and commenting on the unbelievable escape of the running of the bulls. I'm not sure if those were fans or bulls. I'm pretty sure those were fans.
I had a legit rodeo in my backyard.
As soon as I stepped out, when I looked over there, and I was like, those aren't horses. Those are literally bulls, and oh my God. Didn't hit the pool. They didn't hit nothing else. Yeah, I'm glad that was fenced off back there, and they all just stopped. So there's a lot of kids around here. We don't want anybody getting hurt.
The accent, I love it.
I don't know if you realize, but these bulls are very mean.
No bull.
They are mean bulls. So you got to really be careful. Today is Fake It Till You Make It Day. Okay. I don't know if you
it's every day.
Care about that every day in our lives. Day. We're going to fake it till we make it. And even if we don't make it, we're just going to keep on faking it. Fake It Till You Make It Day. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had some fun with some of their newest players by seeing if they could correctly identify things from the 90s. Here they are being
Speaking
shown.
Speaking of feeling old.
Here they are being shown a VHS tape, a floppy disk, and a cassette tape.
And it's like a DVD, DVR. I don't know. It's it.
This little DVD thing that you used to put in the VCR?
A VHS, right?
Yep.
CD.
This is like just a regular CD.
CD? I don't know. IBM.
Floppy disk. Is that what it is? Is that a floppy disk?
Dang, I would have never gotten that.
Y'all got me on this one. I don't know this one. Yeah, this thing we used to put in the music thing, put like tunes and stuff like that.
Yep.
I don't know what it's called though.
It's a cassette
This is
tape.
the cassette, right?
Yeah.
The times have changed.
It's amazing. You don't even need anything today, right? It's all streamed and everything else.
Goodness.
The world has really changed. Yeah. And there's a story up on our website to check out. Kmart announced its last full-size store in the United States. I didn't even know there was a Kmart in the U.S.
The blue light is dimming.
The last known store, Kmart store, a mini Kmart in Miami, will be the only one left. The last full-size store has closed. And I think that leaves 3 mini stores, mini
Where
Kmart
was
stores.
it? Somewhere around here, wasn't it?
I think there was, I think it was in New York. I think there was a New York store that just closed. At least the story's up on our website. You can check it
It
out.
was next in the same plaza as the Radio Shack.
Might have been.
It was.
Might have been. Here's audio.
It's the name brand, and it's a saving.
If I'm young today listening to that, I'm like, man, you people had poor taste. You had really bad taste. We have news coming up top of the hour. Stand by for news on WIBX.
Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. Made in America, made for you, and made to last. Artesian Spas are designed with your wellness in mind, and Tucker Backyard has many styles and designs displayed in their one-of-a-kind showroom. Come see for yourself and experience fully functional spas in their unique setting. Ben Tucker and his staff will be happy to assist with their interactive showroom, helping you pick out the right spa fitting both your needs and budget. Relax in your new spa this fall with Tucker Backyard and Artesian. While there, ask about the new line of fiberglass pools, built to last for years and never needing a liner. Beauty and complete durability more affordable than ever before. Add fun, comfort, wellness, and value to your home with Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com.
We bring the fun to your backyard.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get
Roll W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
The election is now just 6 weeks away. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
If we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. It's very simple.
Former President Trump at a rally last night in a Pennsylvania community named Indiana, embracing early voting, sort of.
We got to get out and vote. You can start right away. You know that, right? Now we have this stupid stuff where you can vote 45 days early.
Now, Vice President Harris will campaign in Pennsylvania tomorrow. Tonight, there will be a Trump rally in another toss-up state, Georgia. The suspect in the second Trump assassination attempt remains jailed in Florida and will face more charges.
According to the Justice Department, suspect Ryan Ruth left behind a note outright detailing his plans to kill former President Donald Trump. A DOJ filing says the note addressed Dear World was left in a box that was dropped off at a home of someone who hasn't been identified. They turned it in after Ruth was arrested.
That's Fox's Jeff Paul. Hezbollah has been firing more rockets into Israel as the Israeli bombardment continues in Lebanon, with a number of deaths reported in airstrikes, now more than 550, as Israelis target Hezbollah militants and their rocket launchers as the U.S. sends more troops to the Middle East.
We do know that they'll assist the 40,000 American troops already in the region. Meanwhile, Israel's war cabinet met last night after Iran's president accused Israel of seeking a wider conflict. Iran's president will formally address the UN later today.
Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv. Now, President Biden will also address world leaders at the UN General Assembly today in New York, discussing Israel's fight against Iran-backed groups and helping Ukraine battle Russia in that war. It's not a hurricane yet or even a named storm. But what's forming in the Caribbean is forecast to be one in the next day or so and could hit Florida.
What's going to become Helene expected to bring some pretty dangerous hurricane conditions to the Gulf Coast, talking about winds up to 100 miles per hour, deadly coastal flooding, and storm surge is going to be big with this.
Fox Weather's Craig Herrera. Out west, John hit Mexico as a Category 3 hurricane. It's weakened to a tropical storm since. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
There is still a $100,000 reward in Birmingham, Alabama.
To hunt down, capture, arrest, and convict the people who are responsible for this mass shooting.
Birmingham Mayor Brandon Woodfin. Saturday night's shooting left 4 people dead, 17 injured. In Boulder, Colorado, a jury convicted the gunman who shot up a supermarket in 2021 of 10 counts of first-degree murder, rejecting his not guilty plea by reason of insanity. The judge then sentenced him to 10 life sentences, no chance at parole.
Some spoke of their loved ones.
No parent should have to lose their child, especially in this way.
Others spoke of the shooter.
I wish the young man behind the gun had received more love in his life, because then maybe none of this would have happened.
But it was Judge Ingrid Backey who delivered the final sentence to Ahmad Alyssa. 10 life terms for those killed, hundreds of years more for those fired upon. Boulder County DA Michael Doherty said there is finally justice.
And it's just on the criminal case. The victims will forever carry with them the loss.
The defense did not speak after the victims' statements. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after the Dow closed at yet another record high with a 61-point gain. On Monday Night Football, there were 2 games.
They're down in 7. This one is launched from McLaurin. He's got it. Touchdown!
Washington rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels threw 2 TD passes and ran for another score to lead the Commanders to a 38-33 win over the Bengals on ABC. Cincinnati remains winless. So does Jacksonville. The Jaguars were blown out by the Bills 47-10 in Buffalo. Josh Allen had 4 touchdown passes to lead the Bills. They're 3-0. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. This update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Right now, we're at 56 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast in minutes. FEMA claims it has not received a major disaster declaration request from the state following severe weather over the summer. Storms ripped through multiple counties in the region July 15th and 16th, triggering tornadoes, strong winds, and extreme flooding. Governor Hochul's office said back on July 20th a request for an emergency declaration had been filed. However, it's unlikely the region reached the damage threshold necessary to qualify for assistance. We're working on possibly speaking with Oneida County Executive Anthony Pacenti this morning with an update. Utica police have made an arrest in connection with a deadly stabbing in their city over the weekend. Authorities say 57-year-old Jerry Lee Lewis attacked 31-year-old Michael Bialik Gilliam at an address on Lansing Street Saturday night. Bialik Gilliam was rushed to a nearby hospital but could not be saved. and Lewis is now facing a murder charge. Police say the two men were involved in an altercation before the stabbing. Employees at Stewart's Shops will be getting the chance to purchase shares in the convenience store chain. The Dake family, which owns roughly 60% of the company's stock, will be selling it off slowly over the next 20 years before retiring from the business. The Dakes have yet to disclose how much their shares are valued at or said what price they'll be sold for. There are more than 350 Stewart's locations, including here in central New York. A judge is ordering district maps that were created by the Onondaga County Legislature to be redrawn. Democrats had expressed concerns the 17 districts were gerrymandered and gave the GOP an advantage. The judge approved a settlement between Democrats and Republicans and called for the districts to be redrawn for the 2025 election. But before these new boundaries are created, there will be public hearings to get feedback from residents. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:07. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the Stanley Center for the Arts. For today, we can expect cloudy skies, maybe rain showers, but a high in the upper 60s. Showers likely with thunderstorms possible overnight, cloudy with a low in the mid-50s. Then showers likely again tomorrow with a possible thunderstorm. We'll see a high only in the low 60s. Later in the week, we'll see some sunny skies and temperatures back into the 70s.
Weekend looks cooler, but low to mid-70s. Not
Very
bad.
nice.
Yeah.
Right now, we're at 56 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Buffalo Bills are now a perfect 3-0 to start the season. After earning a victory at home, Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen tossed for 4 touchdown passes in the first half as his team beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 47-10 at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park last night. James Cook also had a score on the ground for Buffalo, and Damar Hamlin had his first career interception. Up next for the Bills is a contest Sunday night against the Baltimore Ravens. Other sports, the Cincinnati Bengals, despite a pretty good performance from their quarterback Joe Burrow, got the loss against Washington. 38-33 the final from Cincinnati. The rookie Jaden Daniels completed 91% of his passes for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns to go with a rushing touchdown. Washington improved to 2-1, while Cincy fell to 0-3. Only one team since 2000 has made the playoffs after dropping the first 3 games of the season. But if anybody can do it, I think it is the Bengals. In baseball, the Yankees are 92-64 and on the verge of clinching the division. New York is leading the AL East by 6 games with 6 games to go and will open a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Bronx Bombers enter the series on a 3-game win streak after sweeping the Athletics. Clark Schmidt is expected to make his 15th start of the season. He's 5-4 with a 2.37 ERA and 81 strikeouts over 76 innings. They win tonight, they win the division. They win 2 more after that, they'll clinch home field advantage. And the Mets are inching closer to clinching a playoff berth. New York is 87-69. They now hold the second NL wildcard spot, a half game ahead of Arizona and 2 games ahead of the Atlanta Braves. The Mets visit the Braves for a 3-game series that begins tonight at Truist Park. Severino will get the start. He is 11-6 on the season with a 3.79 ERA, 156 strikeouts over 178 innings. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:10.
So we were talking about electric vehicles. And Richard piping in this morning, my son is an Amazon driver out in East Syracuse. The whole fleet of trucks are now all electric trucks. I believe they're Mercedes, all of those Amazon trucks. And he said they're all electric, especially made for Amazon. He says we're talking hundreds of vehicles. His son said the electric trucks are awesome.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're really nice, and people who have them like them because they want them. But to force these vehicles on people, especially municipalities, and these aren't cheap vehicles. Do you know what the impact these the cost of this may have on municipalities individually? Well, you're going to have the town of Boonville's got to have all electric plows.
I just don't feel. I believe it is the future. I do. I just do not feel. Do you remember when there would be like, oh, you can get an electronic leaf blower, completely battery operated, and the thing would be like,
The leaves would kind of be holding on; they wouldn't be going anywhere.
it'd be like your leaves were still there. There would be nothing.
They blow back on you.
Yeah, the leaves are talking to you like, you give me a break.
Is that all you got?
You got, please. Now today, it's completely, but there were no mandates, right? You let the market decide. The market will make this happen. And when people want to buy all electric, that's when the manufacturers will be like, we can make money doing this. Let's do it. But we don't look at things that way. But do I think it's the future? It is the future. It is the future.
It is the future.
Davey, did you want to add anything? No, you don't have anything there? No, you're good?
Nothing to say.
Big fan of the Buffalo Bills. Last night, the Bills clobbered Jacksonville. Never thought that. I thought it was going to be a game. I thought at least for the first half, the Bills were going to be slow out of the gate.
Yeah.
That did not happen at all.
Yeah, I was telling both of you guys yesterday during the show.
You were worried.
That I was worried. I had a bad feeling in my gut about this. But as soon as they went up 13-0, I said, they're gaming the cruise control.
And how about Bass missing an extra point?
I
mean, he was good after that, but I don't know.
If it was a close game, Bill, that could have cost us.
Could have, yeah, it absolutely could have.
Could have, should have, would have. You won by 37 points.
This is the guy who's saying if the Yankees win this game and then they win the next one and the one after that, and then they win the next three, they're going to have home field advantage.
Well, they are going to have home field advantage. They need to win one to win the East, three to win home field.
Yes, true. Wonderful. We love the Yankees. Yankees are great. Go Yankees. Here is Mike and Skyler. Go Mike and Skyler.
Hey.
Be careful what you say, Mike. You don't want to get
he's
tormented for your fan of your baseball team.
He's a Yankees fan.
I have a couple Apple things to share with you. I did go to the store yesterday.
Okay.
I traded in my phone, and now they actually paid for the Apple Watch because they gave me $500. If I did the trade in in the mail, don't do that. Always go right to the store.
Go right to the store.
I got a full $500. And I got $80 for the watch, so I paid for the new Apple Watch Series 10.
And the new Apple Watch is really quite impressive. I mean, it does a lot of medical type things. It can even listen to your sleep and give you sleep apnea testing and that sort of thing.
Yes. Now I haven't played with that part yet because I'm more excited about something else. Sequoia is already out. Did you do your update with the computer? The Sequoia.
Yeah. I think I've done it.
Because it just came out yesterday.
Oh, then I didn't do it yet.
No, because usually it comes out in October, but it was early. And the big thing I was looking forward to that was the iPhone mirroring. And
I've already had it on my phone, and the iPhone mirroring is really
screen
cool.
mirroring, right? Where you can put it up on any TV.
Well,
Smart TV.
No. What he's talking about is, let's see, what am I? I'm already there, I think. Yeah, I'm Sequoia 15.0 So that's the operating system.
That literally just came out yesterday. I thought it was yesterday.
No, it came out last week. It came out almost simultaneously with the new phone. It was right after that. Anyway.
Okay. Did you have issues with it first when you did launch the Sequoia?
I did not. No, I didn't have any.
So I did.
Okay.
So listen what happened with me. So last night, because when I was hitting it, it said could not connect to the phone. He couldn't connect to it, no matter what he was doing. So I called Apple. I was on the phone with them for like a half hour, and they had me check this setting, check all these little settings, and none of it was working. They actually put a senior agent on the phone, and they couldn't. They were going to call me back. But after they hung up on me, you know what I did, and I fixed it on my own? You just do a hard reset on the phone.
Okay. All right.
They spent all their time trying to put anyways. Finally, now I got it working. But it's like you can do everything right on the thing on the computer.
It is. I've got to set mine up on this computer, but it is really unique, Andrew. What you do is your phone pops up on your screen, and you literally can go through the apps. You can utilize and open the apps. Like, For instance, yesterday
I've been playing games.
I opened up the ring camera and I was looking at my phone through.
Oh, that's cool.
Through the computer. So it's kind of cool when you're working on your computer to utilize.
You don't have to look for your phone to do it. Something you normally do it. Now, the funny thing is, now my girlfriend's an Android user, so every time I see one of the new features, anytime I find one of the new features, she shows me you can do it already on the Android. And there was this thing. You remember Back to the Future, right? Remember Back to the Future? Remember the scene when they're at the dinner table in the past, and they're watching an old Honeymooners episode or whatever, and then it shows Marty McFly. Oh, I've seen that one, and that's an Apple user.
Yeah.
That's an Apple user, and then the kid goes, "What do you mean? What do you mean? It's brand new.
It's brand new. It's the first time it's shown tonight.
It's good."
Yeah.
But it's showing Apple user versus Android user. But the thing is like what Apple does is like these technologies are out there, but they spend years to.
The problem is they come out, but they're not perfected, and Apple won't release it till. So I'm a fan. I'm with you 100%, and I do like the
go
the
Apple,
new
go
phone.
Yankees. Thank you.
That's right.
The new
we got to win. We want to win the opener
operating
tonight.
system. Well, listen, actually, if you guys were to win tonight and then tomorrow and then win again on Thursday and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday you win, and then you win every game after that, you'll be World Series champions.
That's right.
Woulda, coulda.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what you
just started one. Just started one. You just want to get one at a time.
Michael, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your new phone and your new watch.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
very much.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah,
Is that
just
what you're
keep going,
saying?
I guess.
Okay.
Sorry.
Donald Trump,
Ignore the
Kamala Harris
commercials.
going at it. Two vastly different approaches to America's housing crisis. On the line right now is Eason Makis. Eason is a third-generation home builder based in Texas. His company specializes in building affordable luxury homes.
Ooh, good combo.
So here we go. And what will this presidential election mean to his company? Easton, good morning, or Eason, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning to you. Thanks for having me.
So, what do you think? What will be better for your company and home building in Texas?
That's an interesting question, and I will give you the best answer I can.
Okay.
I believe Kamala's policy that's discussing starting 3 million new homes is a great talking point. I think Trump is typically known as, deregulation, but at the same time, in these urban areas, the infill development process, and we're a developer and a home builder, so we get to see that vertically integrated process all the way through.
Yeah.
To me, both candidates and both policies should be focused on the deregulation. And I'm not saying deregulation and less oversight, less quality, but there's so many third-party processes involved in the development and the home building industry. It should give local municipalities, state, and even federal agencies the cover they need if somebody was to not do the right thing.
Right.
I think Kamala offering the option of 3 million new housing units is great, but I think it's done at the expense of a whole bunch of extra regulation, a whole bunch of extra layers of government being involved.
Red tape and,
Trump, exactly, and that slows us down, especially when you're a small company like myself. On Trump's end, I think what he should focus on is what's left, having the zoning restrictions, the local municipalities working with state and federal agencies, allowing more housing units to be built, maybe in the suburbia, which is now integrated into the concentric circles of these urban centers. And that doesn't mean go build a multifamily apartment building by a neighborhood that's adjacent to, a piece of land at the moment.
Sure.
It's just some way to allow a streamlined process to where the development and the creation of a lot to be built on for a new home used to be a 6-month process. Then building a home used to be a 6-month process. Now the development process, from acquisition of dirt to the entitlement through your local municipality to the construction to platting of a lot, that's an 18-month to 2.5-year process.
Wow.
Then the building of a home, depending on the product type, is anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half. And so you have created this long lifeline to create one new unit of housing that used to be able to be done in about a year to 18 months period of time. You've taken that and stretched it out to 36 months, if not longer. And that's where the housing shortage starts. It's really just the regulation that has trickled down over time. And what people don't understand is they hear inflation. They hear commodities, lumber, concrete, the insulation that goes in houses. They hear that cost has gone up. Well, as a matter of fact, it is going up, but at a more normal pace. The inflation has kind of subsided in the building industry. And what has happened is that's kind of leveled off and it's going up at a more normal rate. But 15% of every new housing unit created is tied up in regulatory costs.
Wow.
So it's not just the time, it's also the permitting, the platting fees, the impact fees, the park fees, the water fees, all the fees.
I got to tell you, I don't think you have any idea what red tape is until you come to New York. Here, we are the red tape.
Come build a house in New York there, Ethan.
I do have to say, we were having so we had construction built, and they were putting a deck that went up probably about 20 feet in the air, 15 feet in the air. And they were putting a deck on, and they were using, would be 6x6 is the posts, I believe. And in New York, because of our frost zone, we had to, the requirement was, from the town, was you had to go 4 feet deep into the ground, and then you could put it in and put your quickcrete in or concrete or whatever. And and so the what do you call the codes guy? The codes officer didn't trust the contractor, so he said, "You dig it out, make sure it's 4 feet, and do not put anything in till I get there. I want to measure before you put the concrete in." Now, on one hand, I feel like that's slowing us down. On the other hand, I do think the contractor might have cut corners. So, what you don't want is your deck collapsing.
Yeah, no.
But in New York, we are and really it's different from town and municipality to municipality.
Yeah.
Here, it's not so much like one size fits all, but you go to New York, I can only imagine the city what it's like to build.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine it. But I also think that's something that Trump should be admired for because he's navigated those processes in New York, and I can't imagine doing it in Texas. I hope we're not drifting towards the regulatory nature of those areas, but it sure seems like it. And it's just an example of if you give an inch, you give a mile over time. And that's what's seemingly going on here. And we've typically been the affordable area, and I imagine our housing is a lot more affordable than up in New York, but still it's pretty eye-opening and shocking when we're quoting price per square foot for a new house for a family right now. It's just numbers and prices that we didn't think we would see in Texas and Dallas-Fort Worth ever in my lifetime.
Wow. All right, interesting stuff. We do appreciate your time there, Ethan. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right. Good luck with your construction.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. I think that I think we all know it's quicker to sell a home elsewhere. It is quicker to build a home elsewhere. There are less regulations elsewhere. We are regulated, but a lot of it, though, would you would know because you're in real estate. A lot of this is municipality to municipality, more so than statewide regulations.
Yeah,
it is, and you know what? A lot of times, what it comes from is you have a terrible fire, and you realize there were codes deficiencies, and the codes department didn't enforce it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they go in and they make the rules even tighter.
Yeah.
But from town to town, right in our own area, right? You build in Whitesboro versus New Hartford, everything is completely different.
Yeah,
so that's where I don't know what Trump or Harris would have to do with the regulations involving the building of our homes here. And you know what? We have cold weather, which changes everything.
Oh, it does entirely.
But I swear to God, they're digging the hole. They're digging. And the one guy is like, it's solid rock down here. We're not going to be able to. I got it about 3 feet 2 inches. That's probably enough, don't you think? So they called up the codes guy and said, all right, we got four. There were like 6 of them. Everything's 4 feet deep except for the one is only about 3 feet, but we just can't get through it. And he said, do not, number 1, 4 feet. Number 2, don't put any concrete in.
I'll be right there.
Until I come over and measure every hole. And he did.
I just want to say one thing before
we've
you
seen
break.
stories on TV where people get out on a deck and the deck collapses. You don't want that happening.
This is a comment from Wayne, apropos from the conversation before Easton joined us. Drew, my man Bill has no right to go off on you talking about the Yankees. He speaks of the Mets the same way. WTF. He so hates the Yankees. LOL. I said exactly.
No, I'm just...
With your scenarios. The Mets, there's this many games back behind the Phillies. They, have this many games left. They could still miss the playoffs. But
if you notice what I said was they're probably going to blow it.
Yeah.
They're probably going to blow it, and we're going to lose 6 straight or who knows what. Nonetheless, it used to be fair in here because we had Manaski. Manaski, a Mets fan. It used to be fair. Now, Wayne, I am outnumbered. I must try to defend myself just to stay above water. Where we are all in agreement is Ricky Z and Steve Pani Mazda. Certified pre-owned vehicle, what a value you get. And the lot, their lot at Steve Pani Mazda Commercial Drive, Yorkville, is loaded. They only select the best late model vehicles, the best late model Mazdas for their Mazda Certified Pre-Owned Vehicle program. They offer them in a 160-point inspection and the balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you need a price that is lower or a payment that's lower, just talk to Rick. And he'll always say, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle. From the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction, where it is always easy to do business, Steve Pani Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
I'm Jim Bono, your guide to all things happening in Herkimer County. Did you know that there's a website that gives you access to all the events happening in Herkimer County? Whether you're hosting a garage sale, festival, charity event, or anything in between, go online to herkimercountyny.gov. Click on the event calendar in the upper right, and then click on Submit an Event to add your occasion. You can also use the site to see what's happening around town. Herkimer County, where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It's all happening in Herkimer County.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
My husband and I recently got a mortgage from AmeriQ. The team was so incredible, answering all our questions throughout the entire process, and we had a lot of them. AmeriQ's mortgage team made us feel so secure during the biggest financial decision we will ever make, and we couldn't have asked for a more supportive mortgage team.
Create your meaningful connection with AmeriQ. Visit AmeriQ.org or download our mortgage app today. Membership eligibility is required, insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance, so when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Right now at Mattress Express, buy almost any king or queen set in the store and get a free adjustable base upgrade. Everybody loves a free adjustable base. And take up to 5 years to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedsantique.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Next Wednesday, we're doing Coffee with a Cop, and it's Sheriff Rob Mashel hosting the event at Daylight Donuts. We'll be there next Wednesday, Davey. Next Wednesday. I have some comments here I want to get to that I think are pretty good. And this is, where'd my comments go?
I got them here.
They're coming back. Well, I wanted to go through, built my house in New Hartford in 10 months from lot purchase to move in. New Hartford Codes Department didn't cause a single day's delay. When we chose our plan and submitted it to our contractor, prepared the lot, and the plan was okayed before we were ready to build Rocky and Utica. I do agree. I'm not saying that it was, and to be honest with you, I appreciate the restrictions that are out there. I wasn't going to argue with the guy because what he's talking about and what we deal with are two different things.
Yeah, right. It's a different
Texas,
world.
The Carolinas, Florida, Mississippi.
And people are building more down there.
They're just getting restrictions for the first time, and they're shocked. It's like. But you know what? They almost happen after a collapse of a deck or something goes wrong, a house burns up, and that's when you start saying, "Wow, we should have codes." But I agree. I thought New Hartford codes were excellent, and they were tough, but they were excellent, and I think we benefit by that.
Yeah. And I think,
we didn't have any delay because of codes.
It just takes longer. I mean, in states like Florida, Texas, the aforementioned ones that you mentioned.
Part of the reason why
there's more
in Texas,
supplies down there.
It's cheaper to build a house is because they have Mexican cheap labor. Believe me.
Yes.
That is why construction is so inexpensive in the border states. It's unbelievable that you have cheap labor that we don't have here. Okay.
Darlene and Sequoia.
Darlene and Sequoia has read it. Go ahead.
Pretty sure someone got a hand on that extra point. Even the announcers mentioned it, but they never showed a replay.
That was the weirdest thing, Davey, last night. I know you watched the game. Andrew, you didn't watch it, right?
No, I didn't.
So the missed extra point went wide left, sharply.
Yeah, but there was a hand in it.
Was there?
One of the you mean the first extra point?
Yeah, was there?
Yeah, one of the Jacksonville Jaguars' hands
But
the ball.
they never did a replay.
Oh, okay.
So how do you know how do you know there was a hand?
It looked like there was a hand. They did show a replay.
They did not show a replay. No replay. I sat there waiting for the replay.
I wanted a replay.
And I'm like, why didn't they show a replay? Why didn't they show the replay? And Darlene, I'm with you. I don't think they showed a replay. I was looking for it. I'm like, why did that thing go so? Did he just get a bad kickoff? Did he slip, or did somebody get a hand on it?
It looked like somebody got a hand on it.
It looked that way. But Davey, are you telling me? Listen, think carefully. Did you see someone get a hand on that ball?
I did see someone get a hand on that ball. Yes.
There you go. During a replay.
No, during the game.
You actually saw it during the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I had the radio broadcast on and the TV turned down.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Oh, so maybe the announcer,
maybe the radio announcer said maybe the radio announcer said he got a hand on it. They didn't even mention it, and they didn't mention it on TV.
Well,
they just went to break.
I was listening to the Bills radio network announcers.
All right, Davey.
Matt and Holland Patton. Hey, fellas, Santa is coming to town. He's coming to the farm November 30th. Everything is free for the kids. Maybe you could see if the good sheriff would like to bring up a car or something. We are also looking for sponsors. Nothing big, just something free for the kids. Matt and Holland Patton.
I got an idea, Matt. Why don't you have Davey come in and sign autographs?
Yeah, I mean, he's Senator Griffo's
poster boy.
Poster child.
And that is my brother-in-law, and he takes very much pride in his farm that he has. He's got a great addition to his.
They did Santa Claus last year, if you remember.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Yes.
Which is a very nice gesture.
Lance and Lee, 15% tip. What a cheapskate. That was from yesterday. We were talking about tipping and things like that.
I said if I get a bad meal or a bad service, I give 15%. Otherwise, I always tip 20%.
Yeah.
Lance, if you do better than that, God bless you.
Yeah.
I'm not giving 20. Oh, there are times where you get really good service and you'll give
25?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You'll just say, you know what? This is worth.
Yeah, here you go.
This is so good.
Sue in Utica.
The fact that the waitress was actually rubbing my feet during dinner. I mean, that's good for a 25% tip.
We had a lot of talk about restaurants yesterday. Sue in Utica. Our waitress is taking the order of 6 of us without writing it down. Of course, the person after me asked the waitress a few questions, so of course I didn't get what I ordered. You can't send it back, as then I will have to sit and watch everyone eat, and then my food comes. I'd have to eat fast as everybody's ready to go. I'm sure she is fine if no one asks any questions.
So it is amazing. It is amazing to see where some waitresses are able to take your order without writing it down. It's incredible. And some are really good at it. Some, sounds like this one was really good as long as nobody interrupted.
Right.
But the Horn Dorset, when it was French, and some time ago, that restaurant in Leonardsville, they would recite the menu
back to front.
And they would take your order, and it would never be wrong. Never writing a thing down. Brilliant. Those guys, they were incredible. Jay is in Vernon. Hey, Jay, good morning.
Top of the morning to you, gentlemen.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
Yeah, I got a little comment there. I got my best friend. He's a carpenter / contractor, and I'm retired. Sometimes he needs a hand on a job, so he called me up. We started a job for a lady early summer. We've done finished it, but she wanted a 10 by 20 addition put on in a half bath, you know. So we got it all, but it came to he's a pretty smart guy. He was able to run all the electric without any codes or anything, but when it come to plumbing, we had to have a licensed plumber to do it.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, do you want a leaky pipe or a leaky faucet, or or do you want a faulty wiring job? But he can do all the electric and cover it up with sheetrock, but he's good at it. He's been doing it 40 years.
Still, though, you would think that. I mean, I know that
just the opposite.
our construction in New Hartford.
8x8s. They weigh as much. I mean, them things are huge and heavy.
Maybe what we have is 8x8s too. They're large. They're.
Well, there's 4x4, 6. I mean, 8x8s.
Yeah.
They're the big ones. Yeah, but we were able to get we got the construction all done.
Do you have to go 4 feet in the ground up there too?
Yeah, 4 feet in the ground, and we were able. It's pretty sandy. It was pretty. We did rent. We tried doing it with a postal digger, but we got a couple that were kind of in trouble. So we rented a gas-powered two-hand auger, but we were able to get down 4 foot.
I rented one of those two-hand augers, one man, two, and it just. I was going around in circles. I was. I was spinning around.
I hit a rock.
Yeah, they'll take your arm off.
They will. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just funny. I don't know if that's the city of Rome, but he said it anywhere. I don't know if it's the county, the state, but yeah, you can do your own electrical work if you put an addition on or if you want to remodel it. But when it comes to plumbing, you got to have a licensed plumber.
Interesting. Yeah, that's weird.
And plumbing is easy nowadays with the PEX and all the PVC and bingo bango.
Yep.
You still got to be kind of fairly smart when you do electric, and you want to make sure that.
Trust me, Jay. I've seen someone screw up plumbing, so it can be screwed up.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, but no, yeah. I mean, it depends on.
You're right, though. Well, it's not gonna. Chances are, your electric could start a fire where your plumbing probably.
Well,
won't.
yeah. Well, this plumbing was it was into a septic tank system, leach field system, so it wasn't going into a city system. Maybe that's why. But
all right.
But I just thought
Jay.
it was kind of funny. All right, y'all have a great morning.
You do the same. Thank you. Let's do Habaika's free money question of the day. Today, Davey, the amount of money on the line for a question that is, I believe, completely doable. It is how much?
$150.
You're back at 150. Why don't you make it even 200?
Okay, $200.
$200, says Davey, right out of the blue. It's worth $200. And caller number.
Caller number 7.
Seventh caller. Caller number 7 from the Habaika Law Firm. $200 on the line. And right after that, we'll speak with Tom Hyland from Utica Mac and this whole electric bus, electric truck thing. Can it work? Is it going to cause problems for places like Utica Mac? And we'll get into that all coming up. Caller number 7? 315-736-0186 right now.
Summer congestion got you down? Whether it's allergies or a summer cold, being congested can change your whole day. You feel tired and run down like you're missing out on summer fun. At Navage, we're here to make breathing easy, easier. Navage uses patented gentle suction technology to help clear out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs without drugs. In as fast as 30 seconds, you'll be on your way to a better day. Look for Navage in brand new packaging. Navage, fresh new look, same great product.
Get ready for the world's premier box lacrosse event. The World Lacrosse Box Championships are coming to Utica, New York. Witness 28 men's and 10 women's teams from 28 countries compete for the ultimate title. From September 20th to the 29th, experience 133 electrifying games at the Adirondack Bank Center and Utica University Nexus Center. Catch up to 16 games a day with intense action every 45 minutes. And don't miss the vibrant vendor village. Get your tickets now at EmpireStateTix.com.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date with a COVID shot this season?
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at VaxAssist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles?
Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Anthony is... where's Anthony from, Davey? Do you have any idea?
Marcy.
Anthony and Marcy ready to play Hobica's free money question of the day from the Joseph and Andrew Hobica Law Firm at 315-724-1600. Anthony is on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You ready to go, Anthony?
Let's do it.
On the line is $200. $200. Now, I want to give you a little preface this question, if I could. If this question were about clothing, and I were to ask you what is the most popular clothing in the world, you would not say Jordache jeans. You would say jeans.
Underwear.
Or underwear, right? You're looking for a general, like if I said, name America's greatest snack, you wouldn't say Oreos, you'd say cookies. Okay?
All
so
right.
we're looking for
Fair
a
enough.
general answer. All right. Are we ready to go? You'll have seven seconds, man. Here we go for your chance to win $200. What is the world's most consumed manufactured drink? Ready, go.
Water.
You're going to go with water. That would not be a manufactured drink, I don't believe.
No, I mean, it's bottled.
It is bottled.
And all that, you know.
It is bottled. Well,
And they filter
Yeah.
it.
I don't know the clarification. So all I'm going to your answer was water, the correct answer, and you know why it's China that really drives this. China drives this, and it's tea. Yeah. More so than soda or.
But tea is natural, though.
Well, it is, but it's manufactured. It's got to be. It's
Put into it. It's put into a little sack.
Here
It's
you
put in
have the last thing you want is me to start explaining these questions because I just dig deeper and deeper. All right. Well, listen, a good guess, a good argument, Anthony, as a matter of fact. We're going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It'll be good if you want to go for lacrosse this week or the Comets games, Pioneers games coming up. It's $25 gift card, Aquavino, Babes, Taylor and the Cook, all that. Davey is going to hook you up, okay?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Man. Thank you so much. Stand by.
right.
And Davey, I dropped him, Davey. I hit the wrong button.
Call back.
Anthony, if you could. And Davey's going to hook you up. In studio right now, Tom Highland with Utica Mac. Tom, good morning. Good morning. And that mic, I'm just screwing up left and right here. Would you agree a manufactured drink tea it kind of makes sense, right, with all the Chinese?
Yeah, that makes sense.
They are everywhere. These tea drinks are everywhere.
But he gets a gift for getting it wrong?
Yes,
we always reward failure here.
We do, okay.
For losing.
We reward failure gloriously.
Well, it's kind of in our DNA, Andrew. That's why. I mean, we always want it to be. Anyway. All right, electric tractor trailers, electric trucks.
Yeah, what do you call them? The electric trucks, right?
Zero emission vehicles.
Right, we don't even call them electric.
Zero emission vehicles.
So this is supposed to go into effect like in the next year?
January 1st.
Of 2025.
Now, is this the same regulation or law that will regulate school buses and other vehicles, or is this just your industry?
This is our industry. This is just a segment of the law.
And it's not what you can sell, it's what can be manufactured?
It's what we can sell because the manufacturers don't sell directly to New York State.
Okay.
So we do. All the dealers in New York State do.
So how in the world are we going to... So that would mean that any Mack truck you sell going forward will have to be electric.
Well, let me give you some background.
Okay.
Okay, so there's
this is not going to happen.
167 new truck dealerships in New York State.
Okay.
Between 14,000 pounds up to 80,000 pounds and greater. So there's 10,500 dealership employees. And the way that this is affecting the dealerships is that New York State is mandating that on January 1st, in order for a dealership to sell a quantity of diesel trucks, they have to sell electric trucks first. or
So
zero,
you have to meet
zero emission.
You have to meet a quota of zero emission trucks before you can
What
sell
if no
any
one
diesel.
buys them?
Well, that's the position we're in.
Yeah.
So the manufacturers don't have an electric vehicle or a zero-emission vehicle that currently satisfies the customer's needs. In New York City, they're running some zero-emission refuse trucks.
Yeah.
Instead of a 15-hour shift, they're lasting for 3 hours.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Now, I do see the Amazon trucks they don't seem to be having a problem with the Amazon trucks, and those are electric.
Yes, they are.
But
they have a set route. They have a set amount of time.
Right.
Set mileage.
They can't have that much of a load on those vehicles.
No,
probably
because the batteries weigh quite a bit.
Right.
So
I will tell you that I have a hybrid, and in the wintertime, I'm able to drive to work and drive home on a battery charge. Still have a little bit left over, but in the wintertime, I don't quite make it all the way home.
So the problem
I have gas too, so I don't have to worry about it.
So the problem we're having is that none of the manufacturers make a truck that is going to satisfy the customer's needs, and until we sell an electric vehicle or a zero-emission vehicle, we can't sell any diesel trucks.
Well, there's no
so
way they can
in
keep
January.
this. Yeah.
In January, I cannot order diesel trucks from Mack Trucks.
Wow. I want to.
Now, this isn't just limited to Utica Mack. This is every single dealership in New York State. If they have sold electric trucks to someone, then they qualify for a quantity of diesel trucks.
Wow.
What's the cost differential between a zero emission and a diesel?
So a Class 8 tractor, that's a truck that pulls a trailer, let's say down the throughway that everyone recognizes.
Yeah.
That truck would run just about $200,000. An electric vehicle truck is about $420,000.
And this is the same problem we're having with school buses.
Yes.
And here's the thing: you're talking about very unique terrain up here, and very difficult weather in the wintertime. So it changes everything. I want to bring in Steve Spurbeck, who with Intermodal, they travel all over the country. And what do you think about this, Steve?
I think it's a good thing we have an operation in Georgia that we can register trucks in.
Which screws you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So seriously, like Tom said, the technology, it's too much too fast. The technology is not here yet for heavy-duty trucks. We go 500 miles a day. We go from Utica to either Buffalo or Newark, New Jersey. The range of a Class 8 truck, tractor-trailer, is right around 280 to 300 miles. We could get to New Jersey. Then we'd have to plug in.
Mm-hmm.
All right? It takes 8 to 10 hours to get a full charge on these batteries. Okay? The New York State Thruway redid all their service plazas in the last few years. There is not one charging station for trucks in any of these service plazas.
Wow.
So I did a little investigation into this because we own our own leasing fleet also.
Yeah.
So I called the New York State Thruway Authority about a week and a half ago. I said, from your website, it says you spent $450 million updating and renovating all of your service plazas. How many charging stations do you have for heavy-duty trucks? And the manager said, we have 130 for automobiles. I said, okay, but that's not going to help me. How many do you have for trucks?
Is that 130 along the New York State Thruway?
Yes, along the
because
so
there are only a few at each of these.
Right.
And he said zero for trucks.
Zero for trucks.
Yeah.
So the other part of this is...
And I hate to say, but I'm not going to... Like, I have the hybrid. I'm not plugging this in. I'm moving.
Right.
I'm going in. I'm going to get whatever I'm going to have. I'm getting back in the car because I want to get to my destination. I'd have to sit there for 2 hours. I wasn't going to.
That's right.
Not going to do that.
And a lot of times you'll see the car sitting there and the people are sleeping in it.
Oh.
So, but the other part of this is,
An electric car.
Let's say that this goes through with New York State and they do have charging stations on the thruway. Where is the truck going to operate outside of New York State?
Right.
Okay, because up and down the thruway is fine. Let's say they go into Pennsylvania or Ohio or New
Good
Jersey.
luck.
Okay, no, but seriously, we are limiting this vehicle to New York State alone.
And you're not limiting, because to Steve's point, Steve's going to buy his truck in Georgia. He's going to ship that truck up to his headquarters in Utica. And that truck can still go. Diesel truck can still go and
That's right.
operate
all
in New
over
York.
the country.
So it only impacts you.
And this is not a problem unique to electric. I imagine when we began with automobiles, the Model T vehicles or whatever, I used to, you could talk to your grandparents who would say, yeah, you would almost always struggle driving to Utica. It was a long trip. There weren't a lot of gas stations. You'd almost always get a flat tire. Imagine traveling cross country in the beginning. I'm sure there were people out there saying this can't work because there aren't enough gas stations.
Right.
I mean, and in the beginning, that's really what it was. You couldn't. That's why we still use train and other ways to ship. But as the market progressed, more and more vehicles, there was more and more need, and more of a profitable reason. That's when things worked out.
Right.
But it's the market that there were no mandates saying
That's
you
right.
must have.
That's right.
They
are mandating
Yeah.
that we sell zero emission vehicles before we sell diesel.
All right, we're Steve. Clearly, this from someone who is on the ground with us. This just doesn't work. What do you want to say to someone like Senator Griffo or Brian Miller or any of the legislators out there?
I think our local legislators are on top of this, which is good. But here's another thing I want to point out, too. You think you have problems with roads and bridges right now? Electric vehicle truck weighs 33,000 pounds. A diesel truck weighs 18,000 pounds.
Wow.
Okay. So one of two
Is
things.
it the battery? Is that heavy?
Yes.
Wow.
It's all the battery is that heavy. So that's taken away
Wow.
from the cargo now that I can carry.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're going to be running heavy, and then now you're going to have your road budgets are going to be. Second of all, the county, the state is going to lose a boatload of money on sales tax on trucks.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not going to register them in New York. A truck can register in Georgia and run 48 states.
Yeah.
So it's going to be devastating for the economy in New York State, and it's too much too fast. Cooler heads had to prevail and look at this thing and say it needs to be. It's the technology for big trucks is just not there. It's coming.
It's coming.
I believe electric is the future. I believe more of a hybrid. A hydrogen solution is probably the best way to go. But same thing. There's no hydrogen infrastructure yet.
Tom, what do you want to say
It's all
to?
being funded.
Yeah.
Funded by taxpayers, because if I put electric trucks in, I got to put $5 to $6 million of infrastructure in my yard just to charge.
Yeah.
And that's coming from NYSERDA, who's financing this.
And God forbid there was a fire, these batteries burn. I can only imagine what a battery that size would burn like.
That's the rest of the story.
1 minute. What do you say
1
to
minute.
legislators?
Okay. We want to take care of our customers, and we cannot supply our customers with replacement vehicles or new vehicles next year in January. And it's not limited to Utica Mac, so please don't think I'm here just blowing
they got to
horn.
fix this
This
quickly.
is every dealer in New York State.
And what is this going to do for the price of used vehicles?
Well, you would think it would go higher because available used vehicles you would think are going to be a hot commodity. Another point about this is we have to contact our town and fire department.
I want you to hold, and I'm going to do news.
We'll continue after the
news.
news.
I'll get you right out of the news, which is coming up. I don't want to cut you off. So stand by. News is coming up at 8 o'clock.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
They woke up in a war zone. Again, I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Sirens and rocket fire in northern Israel. Fox's Nate Foy's in Tel Aviv.
This is after Hezbollah fired 250 rockets yesterday. The IDF hasn't reported any serious injuries as a result of those attacks. Now, meanwhile, overnight, Israel continued targeting Hezbollah weapons facilities. They hit 1,600 terrorist sites yesterday. Israel continues chipping away at the estimated 150,000 rockets, missiles, and drones that Hezbollah had accumulated before the war.
But all those airstrikes by Israel have been deadly. Lebanese officials say nearly 560 people have been killed since yesterday, more than 1,800 injured. President Biden will discuss all that, addressing world leaders at the UN General Assembly in New York, the day after saying,
My team is in constant contact with their counterparts, and we're
working to de-escalate in a way that allows people to return to their homes safely.
There will also be an anti-American speech at the same UN gathering today from Iran's president. It's day 12 of the Boeing workers' strike that's shut down some airplane manufacturing. Boeing has upped its offer, calling it the best and final one, a 30% pay raise and bigger bonuses. But the workers want 40% and pensions brought back. Fox Business Network Cheryl Cassoni reports.
The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers responded on Facebook. They said Boeing took it upon itself to disrespect our entire union by sending this offer directly to all members and the media.
So the union says there will be no vote by Friday like Boeing is demanding. Former President Trump will rally today in Georgia after campaigning in another toss-up state last night, Pennsylvania.
We got to take our country back from these horrible people.
The former president also told people to go vote early, but he also called it stupid to allow voting 45 days ahead of the election. Vice President Harris will campaign in Pennsylvania tomorrow. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Former President Trump is going to go back to the scene of a crime. His first assassination attempt, planning another rally there.
The former president is expected to return to Butler, Pennsylvania on October 5th, exactly 1 month before Election Day. Meanwhile, the Justice Department is weighing more serious charges against Ryan Ruth, the suspect in the second assassination attempt. Prosecutors are now pursuing an attempted assassination charge, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. Ruth remains behind bars for now after being denied bond by a federal judge. This after prosecutors presented chilling new evidence, including a letter he wrote several months ago urging others to, quote, finish the job. Brooke Singman, Fox News.
In Boulder, Colorado, the gunman who shot up a supermarket in 2021 convicted of 10 murders. The jury rejected Ahmad Alyssa's insanity defense.
I strongly urge the court to sentence this murderer to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the brutal murder of my niece, Ricky Olds, and the 9 other innocent murder victims.
The judge granted Bob Olds his wish, giving Alyssa 10 life sentences, no chance of being released. Now a case of a murder that never happened.
Melody Sasser of Tennessee has been sentenced to more than 8 years in prison after pleading guilty in a murder-for-hire plot. Prosecutors say Sasser used a dark website known as Online Killers Market to hire a hitman for close to $10,000 to kill the wife of a man she met on the dating website Match.com.
That's Fox's Tom Rigotti. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after another Dow record high. On Monday Night Football, a blowout in Buffalo.
5 first-half scores by 5 different Bills. It's an avalanche.
That was just in the first half as the Bills stay undefeated, 3-0, beating the still winless Jacksonville Jaguars 47-10 on ESPN. There was another game, too. The Washington Commanders beat Cincinnati 38-33. The Bengals also remain winless, 0-3. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. 55 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. FEMA claims it has not received a major disaster declaration request from the state following severe weather over the summer. Storms ripped through multiple counties in the region July 15th and 16th, triggering tornadoes, strong winds, and extreme flooding. Governor Hochul's office said back on July 20th that a request for emergency declaration had been filed. However, it's unlikely the region reached the damage threshold necessary to qualify for assistance. What's next? Oneida County Executive Anthony Pacenti will weigh in later this hour on First News with Keeler in the morning. Utica police have made an arrest in connection with a deadly stabbing in their city over the weekend. Authorities say 57-year-old Jerry Lee Lewis attacked 31-year-old Michael Bialik Gilliam at an address on Lansing Street Saturday night. Bialik Gilliam was rushed to a nearby hospital but could not be saved, and Lewis is now facing a murder charge. Police say the two men were involved in an altercation prior to the stabbing.
This is not. If you've noticed, I've laid off this.
Yeah, I've
story
just
all
been
morning
reading
long
through it.
because there's a death, and it's so. Jerry Lee Lewis. He was clearly had to be named after the singer. I would assume.
Yeah, maybe it was just a coincidence. Who knows?
A whole lot of shaking going on. Jerry Lee Lewis. Do you know what Jerry Lee Lewis's nickname was?
The Killer.
The Killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
So odd.
Very interesting.
Well, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Thank you very much. Employees at Stewart's shops will be getting the chance to purchase shares in the convenience store chain. The Dake family, which owns roughly 60% of the company's stock, will be selling it off slowly over the next 20 years before retiring from the business. The Dakes have yet to disclose how much their shares are valued at or said what price they'll be sold for. There are more than 350 Stewart's locations, including here in central New York. A judge is ordering district maps that were created by the Onondaga County Legislature to be redrawn. Democrats had expressed concern the 17 districts were gerrymandered and gave the GOP an advantage. The judge approved a settlement between Democrats and Republicans and called for the districts to be redrawn for the 2025 election. But before these new boundaries are created, there will be public hearings to get feedback from residents. And a new study shows New York City is the priciest city in the U.S. in which to retire. Wallet Hub says if you want to retire in the city that never sleeps, it'll cost you big time. $4,500 for an average one-bedroom New York City apartment. Honolulu and Pearl City, Hawaii are tied for second priciest retirement destination. Boston is third, Seattle is fourth, and Yonkers, New York is fifth. Rounding out the top 10, Santa Rosa, California, the Bridgeport, Connecticut, San Francisco, Fremont, tied for 8th. Jersey City is 9th, and Burlington, Vermont is 10th. Retiree tax friendliness was considered as well as housing costs. It's 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Your forecast for today, calling for cloudy skies with a high only reaching maybe 70. Showers likely overnight with thunderstorms possible. We'll see cloudy skies with a low in the mid-50s. Showers likely with a possible thunderstorm tomorrow. Cloudy with a high in the low 60s. Right now, we're at 56 degrees under cloudy skies at 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Buffalo Bills got it done last night. Big time. 47-10 from Highmark Stadium. That's the final. James Cook had a score on the ground for Buffalo, and Damar Hamlin had his first career interception. But the story, no doubt, was Josh Allen as he tossed 4 touchdown passes in the first half. His team beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, they score 47-10. Quite impressive. The Yankees are 92-64 on the verge of clinching the division. New York is leading the AL East by 6 games with 6 games to go, and will open a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Bronx Bombers enter the series on a 3-game winning streak after sweeping the Athletics. Clark Schmidt is expected to make his 15th start of the season. He's 5-4 with a 2.37 ERA and 81 strikeouts over 76 innings. The Mets are inching closer to clinching a playoff berth. New York is 87-69. They now hold the second NL wildcard spot at a half a game ahead of Arizona and 2 games ahead of the Atlanta Braves. The Mets visit the Braves for a 3-game series that begins tonight at Truist Park. Luis Severino is expected to make his 31st start of the season. He's 11-6 with a 3.79 ERA and 156 strikeouts over 178 innings. Also last night, doubleheader Monday Night Football not only saw the Bills winning, but the Commanders beating the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 38-33. And now the Cincinnati Bengals are at 0-3. The Washington Commanders improved to 2-1. If you're dealing with excruciating pain, Revive Soft Wave Therapy may be the answer for you. Dr. Tim Delmedico has sold his chiropractic business because what he's interested in now in is helping people with their debilitating pain. I had severe foot and ankle inflammation and pain after running a half marathon I had no business running in Miami back in July. And after 6 treatments, my pain went from an 8 to a 0. He believes in the technology so much that he not only opened 3 additional clinics on top of the one on Genesee Street in Utica, but he's a distributor of the technology for other providers. He wants everybody to experience the benefits of SoftWave. There are several NFL teams that are currently using this in their locker room, from the Saints to the Broncos to the Cowboys, who have a lot of pain going on for other reasons, and the Miami Dolphins. Several other major medical hospitals, medical facilities like the Mayo Clinic and the Cleveland Clinic using SoftWave on a regular basis. It's a device that sends high-speed sound waves to the impacted area to promote your body's natural stem cells to the area and blood flow to promote natural healing. So if you want to learn more, go to reviveutica.com, but call them anytime at 315-725-8427. That's 315-725-8427. Mention the Keeler Show. They'll give you a discount on your initial consultation, which will include a SoftWave treatment. 315-725-8427. Let the healing begin with Revive SoftWave Therapy. Genesee Street in Utica, and now 3 other locations.
Okay. Good stuff. And you, by the way, well, you may have had no business running in the half marathon.
I finished.
You finished. That is, I'd have been on the ground, to be honest with you.
My second one, and probably my last.
Steve Spurbeck on the line right now from ERL Intermodal. Steve, we're talking about these electric buses and the mandate coming up starting on January 1st, where in New York, dealers like Utica Mac cannot sell a gas-powered or diesel-powered vehicle. It must only sell electric, and then after selling electric, they'll be afforded a number of diesel vehicles that they can sell. This just is not going to work. It's not good for New York, and ultimately, do you feel this is really not going to save anything when it comes to the environment? Because you're not just going to walk away and say, screw it. You're going to go somewhere else and find the vehicle you need.
Yeah, hear that? We'll register trucks through Georgia and then run them in New York. So,
right.
And here's another thing that it just doesn't make sense. If New York wants to go on this green, for some reason New York has this dream they want to be like California, which God knows why would they want to be like California. But you can still so what's going to happen? Fleets are going to keep trucks longer in New York. You can still register a truck from 1988 that has no emission regulations on it whatsoever. So they really want to go in there. So why don't they ban registering trucks that are older than 2010?
Right.
We're already our engines already meet clean emission standards. The emissions coming out of these diesel trucks today are 98.5% clean because they have a DPF filter which takes the soot out of the engine and burns it internally.
Wow.
So in 2027, there's another round of engine standards coming that they want to get another 0.5%. So they want 99% clean emissions. You could put, you don't see black smoke billowing out of trucks like you used to, unless they're older trucks.
Yep.
You used to be behind a city bus and there's black smoke and you're huffing and puffing and, you don't see that anymore. So I don't know. It's too much too fast. It's going to be devastating for fleets in New York. It's putting New York at a disadvantage to other states.
Yeah.
When it comes to fleets that are operating in that state, and it's just like I say, it's going to make a used truck market that's going to, older trucks are going to be on the road that had no.
That shouldn't be on the road.
Whatsoever.
Yeah. All right, Steve, hold for a second. I want to bring in Matt from Mohawk, Utica Mac. From Abriza Trucking. That's what I thought. Matt Abriza. Matt, good morning. Thanks for coming on. What do you say about this?
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to applaud Tom with his efforts for getting a hold of Senator Griffo and others as well to try to just put a halt to this. I agree with everything Steve just said. This is too big, too fast. Somebody like myself that orders trucks from Utica Mac and others are going to be limited in what we can get after next year. We could be put under a cap, and the dealers are going to have to sell these electric trucks in which there is no current need for. Nobody's lining up to get them in the medium and heavy-duty market. It's just going to be a huge trickle-down effect, and we're going to have to keep trucks longer than we want. And the inconsistencies that are out there about the electric vehicle. The rumor is they have to be kept at 70 degrees. That means I got to go build a monster building to house all my trucks. And then I got to heat that building.
Yeah.
So we're not saving this going green, trying to copy California. We're just not quite. The infrastructure is not ready. And then obviously the other point about the thruway, there's no place to charge.
Right.
We just are not ready for this quick. Some of these things that were talked about, like the batteries, is it 2 batteries on a heavy truck or is it 3? Do they weigh 13,000 pounds or do they weigh 7,500? There's just it's too big, too fast. We're just.
Here's the other part of this, Matt, that I would ask you and Tom. Actually, Steve might know this as well. When I have a hybrid, which I love. Ricky Z said it would be a good vehicle. He's right. It's a wonderful vehicle. Love it. And it allows me around town to save gas when I'm driving around town. Anything long term, I cannot. But I wonder, so you have teams of technicians that work in your shop, I'm assuming. So when a vehicle breaks down, they fix it. Have you ever looked even underneath the hood of a hybrid? It's a whole new world. How do you handle training mechanics to be able to? I mean, that to me
is that knowledge. Does that knowledge exist?
That to me,
at this
well,
yet?
it does exist. We're in the process of
that's
going
to be a process. It's going to be a process.
Yes, to be certified for electric vehicles. So just a couple of things that we've learned. We have to put in one charging station at $36,000. That's just for the charging station alone. That's not the power to the station. When a vehicle pulls into my lot, it has to be cordoned off, an electric vehicle. Can't be by the rest of the trucks because they're unaware of the fire hazards.
What could happen,
When it's inside my building, which I'm not so certain I want to put them inside, it has to be cordoned off as well. We have essential tools that part of our package from Mack Trucks is that you have to buy tools to work on the truck. And just for instance, one of the tools is a shepherd's crook that is rubberized. So if the technician that's working on the truck is getting electrocuted, you get this shepherd's crook that's rubberized and you pull him away from the vehicle.
Wow.
This is serious. And a lot of people don't know the backside of this. Also, I started to talk about prior to your break that we have to notify the town and the fire department. I've talked to both already. The fire department is not currently certified for electric vehicles, but they're in the process as well. And currently, when there is an electric vehicle that's on fire, the procedure is you let it cool, you let it burn, or you submerge it. So I don't even think the technology to put these
the vehicle,
out.
Big, massive 30,000
You got to put it in a really big tub.
I'd like to thank Steve and Matt for both calling in and the kind words that they both said.
How about your insurance company? Have you?
We haven't got there yet.
Let me let Matt. You want to add anything?
No, like I say, I'm really. I'm glad that Tom reached out to you guys, and like I say, we just got to figure it out. It's not that electric is not the answer down the road. It's that we really need to figure out the infrastructure first to figure out what the true rules are and the consistencies of what it will allow us to do and not do. If the truck can only go 6 or 8 hours and then it needs 6 hours of charging, that truck cannot do what we need it to do.
That's going to cost you
an operation, which trucking is not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Right. And by the way, we just went through a shipping crisis where getting products from point A to point B around the country, around the world, caused a major problem. Imagine what this would do. Okay, Matt, thank you for the update. We appreciate your input.
Have a good day, guys.
Do the same.
Thank you.
And then, Steve, anything you want to add?
No, I agree with what everybody said. A Breeza Trucking is like ERL. They take pride in their trucks. We buy new trucks every year. Our oldest truck is 2 years old. and this is just, it's going to make us having to do things that we don't want to do, like buy trucks in Georgia and then ship them up to New York. So who's, the state's losing on this. It's just.
Well, we're all
and the businesses are losing on it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Steve, we appreciate it. Great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right. And by the way, Steve and his family started Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Great organization up here that helps kids who don't have a bed to sleep on get a bed.
So I would like to thank Senator Griffo's office and Marianne Buttonshaw, Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. They've both been very active supporting this and getting the details, getting the facts, setting up meetings with NYSERDA, different organizations in the state, and the customers themselves, along with the dealers. And Senator Griffo is moving forward to help try to put legislation together to stop this until we can figure this out.
Everyone we have talked to outside your industry, like I could throw this to you just as we have this morning, but beyond that, people in politics, people in technology, people in the electric world, people from National Grid. I asked this question, are we going to be able to pull this off? Can we do this with tractor trailers? Can we do this right now with school buses? And the answer from every single one has been, we do not have the infrastructure. Whether that means building or charging or repairing or storing. By the way, Donna says, if they say submerge it, what you would do is drive it off into the barge canal. And it'll submerge, and that'll put
If you
fire
don't catch
out.
on fire trying to drive it
Although,
in there.
supposedly, when these batteries reach water, it's really bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We've heard to bury them in sand.
Bury them in sand.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Sure.
Well,
we'll get
I think,
that.
Andrew, you and I ought to invest in a sand business.
So every
Yeah.
fire department's going to need a dump truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you'd be... How would you get close enough?
Does the dump truck have to be electric?
It's going to have to be electric. So that's one thing. The only segments that are exempt from this are fire trucks and ambulances right now. No municipality is exempt, and no commercial customer is exempt.
Well, again, I do not know how this can go forward. We'll find out, and we'll speak pray. We'll speak with Senator Griffo on it and Marianne Buttonshaw, Brian Miller, and see where they all are on this and what can be done. I don't know if you're moving this deadline from 2025 to what would be comfortable.
Even a couple of years, just so we can
figure it out,
put our feet underneath us.
And maybe the reality is, maybe there shouldn't be a deadline. Maybe there should be a target. We'd like to do this by this amount of time, and allow the market to make it happen. Because guess what? All of these automobile manufacturers, they went all in on electric, and they're sitting on a ton of electric vehicles.
They're backing off a little bit.
They're backing away because they're not selling. Again, the market is what will determine what happens. Okay, Tom, very informational, very interesting, and
thank you.
A little nerve-wracking if I'm you.
It is a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, got a break. Hold tight. We're coming back. I want to talk to this kid from Utica who is he a kid? High school student, right?
Yes.
From Proctor, who had all four judges turn for chairs.
Quickly.
Competing on The Voice. We'll talk to him coming up.
We're passing out the deals at Destination Kia of Utica
during the Chocolate Deals Savings Event
with no money down leases on over 400 new Kias.
Like a 2025 Kia K5 LXS for only $388 a month for 36 months.
That's with 0 down, 0 due at inception and sales tax included.
Score your own touchdown with this sporty sedan.
And with 37 miles per gallon highway, you'll score on gas savings too.
Now that's kooky. Make that short drive and save on 400 new Kias in one location.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2025 Kia K5 LXS. VIN number S5291837. MSRP $28,450. 36 month, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due at inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 9/30/2024.
Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. Made in America, made for you, and made to last. Artesian Spas are designed with your wellness in mind, and Tucker Backyard has many styles and designs displayed in their one-of-a-kind showroom. Come see for yourself and experience fully functional spas in their unique setting. Ben Tucker and his staff will be happy to assist with their interactive showroom, helping you pick out the right spa fitting both your needs and budget. Relax in your new spa this fall with Tucker Backyard and Artesian. While there, ask about the new line of fiberglass pools, built to last for years and never needing a liner. Beauty and complete durability more affordable than ever before. Add fun, comfort, wellness, and value to your home with Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. We bring the fun to your backyard.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
3 things to remember about Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. 1. Marianne is the most independent member of the State Assembly. No majority member votes for us more than she does. 2. Marianne is the only Mohawk Valley representative who has a seat at the table of power. She's in the room, pushing back against the downstate agenda. And 3. Marianne is one of the few true moderates in the State Assembly. As a result, she's supported by New York's most important labor unions and endorsed by the Business Council and the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Assemblywoman Buttonshaw supports small business, police, firefighters, and first responders. She's a career educator who delivered record increases in aid for local schools. She's a farmer who understands and supports other farmers. And she's reasonable, tough, and independent. Vote for Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. She fights for the Mohawk Valley first. Paid for by Friends of Marianne Buttonshaw and not by the taxpayers of New York State.
This is Kevin Fear, president of Mattress Express. You may have heard in the local media that one of our competitors has filed for bankruptcy. Please do not confuse that company with my company, Mattress Express. We are your local, solid, reliable hometown mattress store. I've been in business in this community for over 35 years. I am here today. I will be here tomorrow. If you have ordered a bed elsewhere and it has taken far too long to come in, bring your receipt to Mattress Express. We will meet or beat the price on the same or comparable bed and get it delivered quickly for you. If you see a bed advertised locally, we will do the same. And right now, on most king and queen sets in our store, get a free adjustable base upgrade and take up to 5 years to pay on anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details. Shop with confidence at Mattress Express.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah. Where is this? So
I don't know why that's happened.
I don't know.
'Cause I don't know why that's happened. 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 I don't know w
taking me to the wrong place.
I'm working on it.
All right. We have a bunch of comments. Do you mind we get to?
Yeah, get to some of them.
Mike has a lot here. No, that's one of them. This whole electric truck thing in New York is proof that the politicians apparently were into the marijuana prior to legalization.
That's true. They were sampling.
I just feel like this governor wants to be first at everything, even if we're not ready. Leon Etienne, how are we doing? October 30th is the date that he would like to break the record, Andrew. You've had made contact. How you feeling?
I am working on, I've been in communication with somebody from Guinness. I've got a reply email, and I've replied and have not gotten a reply back. They are not easy to work with. So my next step will be putting a call into Lowville to see what in the heck's going on.
I'd like to see how they pulled it off, right?
They may have paid somebody to come do it.
Yeah, and if that's the case, we're gonna need to get a sponsor on this.
Yeah,
because Leon is about to break a Guinness record while in a straitjacket.
I love it.
Suspended in the air, and I'm really darned excited about this. It's going to happen coming up in the month of October. I have some audio on this kid that's coming up from American Idol. Or sorry, this is what's the name of it?
The Voice.
The Voice.
Four turns.
He's singing 4 turns, all in. And he's from Utica. He's a Proctor student.
Against my with no pain. Slowly, slowly driving me insane. I'm going down.
Wow.
I'm going down. You went around, baby.
I gotta tell you, this kid is stinking good.
Oh, I died to say goodbye.
I think Snoop was the first to turn.
Come on in. I get something seeds from falling from my
Wow, I just
give
can't.
him the win now.
I can't stop playing him.
Wow.
How old is he?
I'm not sure.
Wow, that was stinking awesome.
God. Give him the crown now.
Sofranio Vasquez is from Utica, and that was him.
Originally
singing.
from the Philippines, now living in Utica.
And he is on the line. He's already been signed up to take over for Journey. Here he is. Sofranio, good morning.
Good morning.
Wow.
Yeah, it's literally good morning here. I'm still in LA, and it's 5:30, but I'm super excited when I get the message that I can be on the show. I've been listening to the show for maybe a year since I moved to America.
Wow. Well, can I just tell you, you just blew my mind away. That was
is
so
incredible,
good.
man.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How old are you? Did we have this story right? How old are you, by the way?
I am 31 years old.
You're 31, so you're not in high school.
Yeah.
I keep calling you a
It may
kid.
look like he's in high school, you know.
Oh, you're looking pretty good for 31.
No, I'm 34. I don't look like that. So
Where in the hell have you been at 31 being able to sing like that?
I've been in Utica.
All right. Well, we apparently
gotta have you in studio.
Andrew and I are obsessed with karaoke singing. We have not run into you because if we did, we'd leave immediately.
yeah, we wouldn't even go anywhere near the microphone.
Yeah, I can't sing after
God.
listening to him. Holy cow. That was something. So tell us about you.
Well, yeah, for our listeners, as known, I am originally from the Philippines, and I was born and raised in the Philippines. I grew up there, and with different circumstances and challenges in life, I decided to move to America and trying to pursue a different career than music. I'm trying to get into the international standing program for dental world in Buffalo.
Okay.
So it's in upstate New York, and I've researched a lot of places, and I think Utica is the best place to live in.
So you
That's awesome.
you want to be a dentist or a dental hygienist? What do you want to do?
So in the Philippines, I graduated a 6-year dental program, but when I came to America, I can't be a dental hygienist or a dentist because I'm from a different country. So I have to do the international dental program I would do that. So so I started as last year. I enrolled in MVHS dental assisting program, and I became a dental assistant for a surgeon in Utica.
That's awesome. And
so singing is just a hobby, and he's only on one of the biggest singing shows in the country, killing it.
Yeah. What has this experience been like? It has to be spectacular.
This experience is just mind blowing. I mean, for such a fast turn of events in my life, I've been watching this show since probably season 1. I can still remember who won that season, and moving forward, I'm on that stage, and people would just tell me like, "Oh, you sound so good," but they don't know how nerve-wracking, how nervous I was. Like literally, when the production told me like, "Okay, the door opens in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1," and you walk down on stage, that was autopilot. I don't remember any of that.
He's got no memory of it.
Yeah. Immediately, you're like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna puke. This is terrible. I am about to throw up."
But then you had Snoop. So what was that moment like where you had
killed it? You killed it.
All
on stage.
4 judges turned their chairs almost instantly, led by Snoop Dogg, who was the first to turn.
Yeah. So before watching my blind audition, I mean, I don't remember that was the quickest chair turn that they did. But yeah, having Uncle Snoop, I mean, he's so cool. But on stage, I just can't. They are just so magnificent. Like everyone is so iconic on that seat, and I don't know, for some reason, like, oh my God, it's real. Like, am I dreaming? Yeah, they really turned for me. So I'm like, that was so crazy. Like I cannot still explain what I feel now.
Yeah. Wow. And then I didn't see this, but I'm going to be watching you every time you're on going forward. But did you pick a judge?
I don't know that they. I think
this is not aired yet.
Right. Yeah. This is just a sneak peek. So we need to be watching.
So we can't. You can't reveal it.
No, actually, we had the episode 1 aired last night.
It did last night.
In NBC, and then eventually I picked Michael Bublé. I'm on Team Bublé, so I represent. I am the first artist to be on the rooster of Michael Bublé's team.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah, that's interesting because the soulfulness. We'll talk a little bit about what made you. Did you have an idea going in who you'd like to pick if you got the four-turn scenario? What was it that Michael Bublé said to you that made you want to go with him?
Well, honestly, I have a different coach in mind. Moving on taking on the stage, the blind audition. But as they are doing the pitches, that part I remember that Michael told me, like, he's very connected to the Filipinos. He has a very special connection to the Filipinos. So I think, and Michael Bublé has been an icon for me. I mean, I've been singing his songs through my gigs, small gigs, and of course my karaoke at home. I always sing "He's Feeling Good," so
yeah,
I guess it feels good to pick him.
So we're speaking. Do I say your name correctly, Sofronio Vasquez?
That's perfect.
Okay,
yeah, that's perfect.
Living now in Utica, and here's the one thing: it's wonderful that he has a connection to those outside the United States. That's wonderful. But when you sing, you go, I mean, and first, certainly you speak fluent English. You speak very well. But you would but you would never know when you sing, you would never know
that English is your second language.
Originally from another country. You would never know.
Yeah. Actually, English is not my my third language. It's my third. So every time I speak, like right now, I translate it 3 times.
Wow.
So, yeah. And it was like the pitching conversation during the blind auditions was longer. And I can remember that Snoop Dogg told me, like, oh, that's weird. You have a thick accent, but when you sing, you don't have an accent.
Yeah.
I believe that's from the karaoke.
Yes, from the karaoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And, there was the old country singer, Mel Tillis, who would have a stutter. So when he would speak, he would stutter. But the minute he sang, he would sing fluently with no stutter. It's amazing what singing can do. Well, all right. When will we see you next on TV? Do you have any idea? Can you promote that?
As far as I know, blind auditions are going to be up for more episodes every Monday and Tuesday. But somehow the scheduling is a little bit tricky right now because of the upcoming elections. But the next thing that you can see me for sure is the battles.
Okay,
the battles. I got in, so I will do the battles for sure.
And you're in LA now, but when you come back home, whenever that may be, we'd love to have you come in and sing for us in studio.
Yeah.
Oh, I promise to be there. Yeah, guys, I want to say thank you, and can I just say a little shout out to my people back in? Yeah, I want to say hi to my neighbors back in South Utica. They are so loving. They always take care of me, and like I just like also living in Utica because people are just welcoming to like everyone, and I always remember them because every time that I need something, they would always offer, and that makes me feel that I'm at home because that's a Filipino spirit who offers like, oh, do you need this one? And that's I just want to say hi to my neighbors.
Well, that's awesome. Well, listen, already a big fan, Sofronio. We're big fans. Can't wait to have you. Well, listen, stay there, win this thing, and then
win this and then come
home.
back. Yeah, all right? Exactly.
I will represent Utica and upstate New York, Central New York.
All right, thank you so much. We will talk to you soon.
Thank
wonderful,
you so much.
Wonderful job. Okay, thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you.
Have a great morning.
All right, good morning. There he goes. There he goes.
The applause. Even though it's fake. Wow.
Yeah, what an impressive guy.
Yeah, man, oh man, what a voice. With a voice like this, Mike says he can sing to soothe the patients before he gives them a filling.
Before he goes drill, baby, drill.
Let me tell you, when I had my colonoscopy the other day, they weren't playing any music. Which I was surprised about because they normally play music inside and they get started before you take the Michael Jackson medicine. And the last thing I remember was, and I was waiting for somebody to sing. I think it would have made it better if somebody would have had music or singing it would make the Novocaine work better.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, once they give you that Michael Jackson stuff, it's like, okay, enjoy your nap.
Yep.
The
Count down from 3,
said.
2, gone.
They didn't even tell me to count down. He just said, enjoy your nap. So I'm like, all right, I think I should count. So I began counting. For some reason, I started at 10, and I'm counting down.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And then you would wake up, right?
I think I might have gotten to 8, and I stopped counting because I felt my head becoming very, very warm. And then I had the best sleep ever.
Is it quick where you fall asleep and then you wake right up? Like it doesn't feel like you're asleep for that long?
I don't know how long I was in the recovery room. I probably needed some sleep because I don't sleep well. So all I know is I woke right up and I was ready to drive home. And they said, you can't drive.
You were not.
I was. Trust me, I was ready. Have you seen my wife drive? We were better off with me driving.
All righty. We might need to take a break after that one.
In Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Yeah, I could be in trouble for that comment. Yep. And Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading flooring store for anything flooring. Carpeting, But my wife picked out a tile yesterday that she wants to replace the blase tile that we have in our house. She wants it replaced. And we're going to Encera's. That's where we're doing it. If you want Pergo Extreme, you get the 60-mile radius best price guarantee. If you want carpeting, if you want linoleum, if you want some of these new manufactured products that look like marble or look like tile, it's not like the stuff of old. The old stuff you knew, it's like, oh, yeah, that's the fake stuff. This stuff you cannot even tell. I mean, and the variety you get because their selection is bigger than anybody else, even the big box stores, the largest inventory in Central New York when it comes to flooring. Get a $50 off coupon on the website, and there's always 6 months interest-free financing right now. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online, it's in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
For the past 3 decades, the Good News Center has been committed to building relationships, better family relationships, a better relationship with God, and a better relationship with yourself. When your marriage is struggling or in chaos, your whole family suffers. The third option offers communication skills to build respect, trust, and intimacy in your relationship. If your marriage needs a pick-me-up or it needs a complete overhaul, the third option gives you the tools to rebuild. This group is mentored by your peers, people whose relationships were struggling. They have learned to use the tools to better their marriage. Please call the Good News Center to find out more about the third option or our other support groups at 315-735-6210 or visit us at thegoodnewscenter.org. These programs are free and confidential. Call 315-735-6210. The Good News Center, building relationships for over 30 years.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. She fell in spite of herself in love with Orpheus.
Broadway Utica proudly presents Hadestown, October 8th and 9th at the Stanley Theater. For tickets, go to BroadwayUtica.org.
It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. Lease a 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition, 3 years, 10,000 miles per year, $499 a month. Or purchase with over $8,000 in savings. Need a heavy-duty truck? We've got a great selection in 3-quarter and 1-ton trucks to choose from, with more arriving daily. Financing available 5.9% up to 84 months. Visit us on Route 28 in Herkimer or at StevePawneyChevy.com. Hurry, these offers end September 30th, 2024. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet.
Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offers are available on select models only. Lease offers require a current Chevy lease through GM Financial, and finance offers require a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and the first payment are due on delivery. See salesperson for details.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Is your business women-owned, been operating for more than a year, and located in Herkimer or Oneida County? Would you like to help your business grow? The Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is offering $5,000 grants to women-owned businesses in the area. The deadline to apply is Monday, September 30th, so why wait? Apply now at womensfundhoc.org. The Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties, empowering women and girls, helping communities thrive for more than 25 years.
Why don't I do this for you while you run around the room frantically? I do want to tell you about Herkimer County and all the things that are happening right now in Herkimer County as we head into, it is officially fall, head through the fall season. You can still explore the Herkimer Diamond Mines, savor the taste of Herkimer cheese, boat tours with the fall foliage along the Erie Canal. Pretty cool. Whether you're local or just passing through, come into Herkimer County. And there's so many things that are going on going forward, like still to come, the Little Falls Cheese Festival. The Little Falls Garlic Festival will be happening as well going forward. And so many different things to see, including the fall foliage. Amazing hiking and fishing and shopping and dining, and so much more to offer in Herkimer County. Where history and commerce and beauty collide, it is happening in Herkimer County.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Listen, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, offering avocado toast on Heidelberg peasant bread.
Yummy.
Toasted to perfection and so delicious. What a great little morning kick, or even for lunchtime. So good. Their bagels and donuts are made fresh every single day right there. The pumpkin lattes and all sorts of different flavors of lattes, espresso, coffee, you name it. And the drive-thru is in and out. You're in and out on your way. Next Wednesday, we'll be with Sheriff Mashel for Coffee with a Cop. And that'll be next Wednesday at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. On the line right now is the County Executive, Anthony Piseni. County Executive, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. I wanted to just start, and I was going to play. Boy, I wish I could play this. We recently did a television commercial that'll be as part of the box, the lacrosse box world championships, and I don't know if you feel how I felt, but the commercial, this area looks pretty good.
It really does.
We look pretty exciting right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had numerous people tell me that, and the people from lacrosse box championships who then international people that came from England, who we were at the opening ceremonies the other day, were just remarking what a lovely, as they put it in their eloquent language, dialect, what a lovely community this was, and how it really looked nice. So it really does show well, and it's showing better every day.
I think when you finally, all of a sudden, you find yourself putting all this together and just looking at it compiled into one 30-second piece, you begin to think like, yeah, it is happening. All of a sudden, it's happening, and you wonder what it's going to look like in 5 or 10 years.
Right, and we saw that. We saw some of that when the Women's World was broadcast on the NHL network, and their sky view of downtown and just the entire area lit up at night. It really looked great, and it is, and like we keep saying, there's more to come.
Were you surprised to hear the U.S. Senator Gillibrand saying that, and then later FEMA saying, I believe, that New York State has not applied for FEMA funding as part of the storms that hit, that included the tornado that struck Rome?
Well, I'm always surprised with Senator Gillibrand, that she remembers where we are, first of all, because I had not heard from her, during the tornado. I heard immediately from Senator Schumer. I heard immediately from the governor, but, now this was, I had not heard. But, the other point of, we have not received, at least as of my leaving the office yesterday afternoon, have not received official word that we were denied. And, I reached out to Senator Schumer. I reached out to the governor's office as well to find out. We did apply. We did, and look, this FEMA process is completely ridiculous when you really get down into it. I've been through this numerous times with other storms, and every time it's, we never hit the threshold for whatever reason. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's a threshold to begin with, that you have to climb over these hurdles and then deduct the insurance payments because they don't count. And, my point to that is, are we better off not being insured, or should we look at, this in a different way? Because you still have, whether you meet a threshold or whatever, and I believe we did, because I believe it's way over, but they deduct insurance payments. My point to that is, okay, insurance payments, I understand. I'm not looking to get paid twice. The reality is we still have $40 or whatever $1 million worth of damages.
Right.
And that's a reality. And so whether, 10 of that comes out of, or even 15 of it comes back as in regards to insurance payments, it's still that kind of damage. And our communities, a small community like Rome, a city of that size, the county of our size, we're not big, we're not, that wealthy. I mean, still has to now scramble to come up with the rest of this money, and that's what's not fair here. But I still have not received official word. And, there's a process afterwards. We can, I'm assuming we can appeal and try and figure it out. But, I'm not just giving it up because the senator comes in one day and says, no, we didn't get it. So I'll wait and see.
She's confusing you with Rome, Italy, I think.
Probably been there more.
It's like, it's great to be. It's great to be back in the Vatican, or close to it.
So this is it's obviously a serious issue in that number one, it takes so long to begin with, but then when you find out that it is all caught up in some legal situation or the lack of paperwork, it's got to be frustrating.
Well, it is, and this takes a long time to compile, and it's not just an easy swipe through to say, okay, we've got X amount of damages and millions, but look around the city and you can see that what we've done. And I just wonder how this has been my complaint with FEMA in the past. It's like, why do we even have to meet a statewide threshold? What about our community? So I have to wait for New York State. I mean, and again, I'm not criticizing the state. I'm criticizing the process here in terms of saying that so the entire state's got to come up with all of this money. But a small community, so if Rome was the only, and Oneida County and Madison were the only two hit in that tornado and during the week of storms, we're basically screwed because there's not enough money there yet. Our communities, I mean, Madison County is not a wealthy community.
Right.
I mean, they can't, in turn, a wealthy county. And I mean that in the sense of, all of our budgets are determined. I mean, and, so why does FEMA exist? To say no?
Right,
I mean, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Especially we've been through that with flooding. We've been through that with snow. We've been through that with everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see where it all goes. Again, congratulations on this week, the Box Lacrosse World Championships. As they continue through the weekend, get out and see this. Check it out. We're going to be giving away tickets tomorrow, but congratulations on all of it.
Great. Thanks for all your help.
Thanks so much, County Executive Anthony Piseni. And it's something to be proud of. What's going on here right now? Pretty exciting. Gotta go. Kilmeade is coming up next, which is after news on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Smoke hangs in the air on both sides of the border. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, as Hezbollah keeps firing rockets into Israel, which keeps bombarding those militants with airstrikes in Lebanon.
As we are learning devastating new numbers from Lebanon's health ministry, at least 558 people were killed and over 1,800 others injured as a result of yesterday's airstrikes in Lebanon. And they're continuing this morning, not only in southern Lebanon, but northeast of Beirut in the Bekaa Valley. Meanwhile, Hezbollah continues firing on Israel with 55 additional rockets being fired this morning.
As Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv, President Biden will discuss that conflict next hour in New York, addressing the UN General Assembly, likely continuing to push for an elusive ceasefire. In Gaza, Fox's Rich Edson's at the UN.
There are questions lingering on how the vice president would run foreign affairs if she were elected. Recent poll for the Institute of Global Affairs says that in 6 swing states, voters give Trump the advantage 58-42 over the vice president. So again, still waiting to hear details on foreign policy from the vice president and from the former president on how he's going to end all this fighting.
And tonight, there will be a Trump rally in Georgia after the former president also held one in Pennsylvania, urging people to vote early, though he called it stupid, letting people cast ballots 45 days before the election.
I wonder what the hell happens during that 45. Let's move see these votes? We've got about 1 million votes in there. Let's move them. We're fixing the air conditioner in the room, right?
Vice President Harris will campaign in Pennsylvania tomorrow. Friday, the New York Times reports she'll visit the border in Arizona. The administration is touting illegal crossings have dropped to 2020 levels, but Republicans blame her in part for record surge earlier. A storm is brewing in the Caribbean that'll soon be named Helene.
It's expected to explode into a major hurricane over the next few days in the Gulf of Mexico, taking aim right now at the Big Bend of Florida.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. America's listening to Fox News.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Celebrating our 10th anniversary, the beautiful red, white, and blue will once again appear along Utica's Memorial Parkway as the Good News Center once again presents Flags for Heroes, honoring our active military, veterans, and first responders. Hi, this is Brian Seville, Executive Director of the Good News Center.
And this is Jackie Warmoth, Vice President of Citron's Clinical Development. Be a part of this beautiful tribute displaying the red, white, and blue of 1,000 American flags along the Utica Memorial Parkway, November 1st through the 11th.
All proceeds will benefit Citron's military program. This program helps veterans and service members returning from duty who are faced with physical, psychological, and emotional changes in their lives.
You can show your support and gratitude by sponsoring a flag in honor or memory of your loved one for only $40. Call us today at 315-735-6210 or log on to thegoodnewscenter.org. Flags for Heroes, November 1st to the 11th. A special thank you to Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas for sponsoring our 10th annual Flags for Hero event. Please sponsor a flag today.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. She fell in spite of herself in love with Orpheus.
Broadway Utica proudly presents Hadestown, October 8th and 9th at the Stanley Theater. For tickets, go to BroadwayUtica.org.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event. Or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group's size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? Nope.